Hello, hello, Mr. Keith. How's it going? Welcome
Hey,
back.
look, I'm first again. God, what a guy. It's incredible.
Doing, man?
Good, you?
Chilling, chilling. Just another day. Can't
Hey,
complain.
do you wanna skip me tonight then? Since like I'm a little behind the curve, but I've been watching all of like the hook calls. I just gotta watch Drew's yet. Loving this. Seems like fish in a barrel all of a sudden, right?
What,
So,
what? No, I want to hear. Like, I want to hear what's brewing your head. I mean, before
okay.
the open, like, I open just like verbal
Okay.
diarrhea.
I'd say no. I didn't want everybody's got legit questions and I'm just like, meh, So, okay.
Yeah, just verbal diarrhea, man. I just love to hear kind of what's brewing your head.
All right.
In fact, I mean, who do we have first in terms of the call?
Jeremy was first.
Jeremy. I mean, we can start chopping it up right now, man, since before the guys hop in, it's no big deal. We
All
start
right,
talking.
yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
What's going on in your head?
Um, well, initially I was a little bit like kind of nervous about like the kind of the aspect of this that's like in a way cold calling, but you're not because you're actually calling somebody that thinks they're getting your business. So you already have like a like kind of a warm ramp in to talking to them and then listening to these hook calls. It just seems like it's easy, you know? Because like who's gonna say no to free leads, right? Like even for 3 days, So, yeah, I'm excited because I like that more than just that, like that sort of like general muddy area of running ads and then hoping the right people come through and you got to do all these calls and stuff like that. This just seems it's more like targeted. It's literally like one thing I'm seeing that I feel like might be missing in some of these scripts is like, um, hey, if, I'm going to your competitors next. I got like three, four, five people that I'm calling. You're the first person I've called, blah, blah, blah. Hop on this because it's like one per area. I haven't seen that yet. So I think I'll probably integrate that into mine just to pump up that scarcity. And yeah. So I'm just, for me personally, niche wise, I'm just not quite. I think the basement thing is good, but I don't know if it's the large enough overall market because I was talking to my client about his the suppliers for their basement um foundation repair stuff. They have carbon fiber straps that they do. And they're like industry leading, strongest things on the market for that stuff, but he doesn't even know how many of those specific businesses exist. So, and they service these people globally. So, um that's my only kind of like sticking point. But then I'm seeing all these other people with like gutter cleaning and windows and doors somebody's looking at stuff like that. So it's just like, man, there's like I got a lot of stuff to figure out, I think. So, but Jeremy's here now. We can let him go. He wanted to be first.
Yeah, yeah. We'll circle back, man.
Yeah,
I I don't know if you maybe you can click on Righteous's hook call that you did.
I was literally just watching that right as we led into the call. Yep.
You'll notice I made a comment about literally what you talked about, which is the competitors and the website and everything. So me and
Yeah,
him
yeah, yeah,
same
yeah,
wavelength. Good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I'm
Good,
super excited, man. This is gonna be awesome.
good,
So,
good. Cool.
yeah.
Mr. Wood,
What's up, guys?
what's up? What's up? Mr. Three-Peat, $7,500 deals in a week, and making some of us
That's
Almost,
right.
sad.
almost like the Kansas City Chiefs. Almost, almost.
I mean, the Chiefs were almost like me, I think is what you mean, Mason.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
congratulations, Jeremy. That was awesome. Good
It was a
job.
good week.
Oh yeah.
It was, I didn't send the message out to the whole group, but did you already share about the guy that I worked with that somehow or another is or am signed up to work with without his knowledge is somehow affiliated with somebody involved in human trafficking? That's a whole new niche. I may look into that. I hear there's a lot of money in it.
You're gonna have to, not right now, obviously, because
Yeah.
that would take a whole thing. But like, you're welcome to share the story with the guys when they hop in, because
Yeah, I'll do a video someday.
a whole
The
thing.
guy I'm working with is not. Let me just clarify that.
I I
Um,
I got that idea. Um, but yeah, let's delve in, man. I mean, I had a look, I skimmed through. Um, I guess where do you want to take the conversation from here?
Well, at the time that I sent my original messages, I hadn't spoken to the husband and wife of the spa.
Mhm.
So, if I showed you my Slack, like you'll see it's like message after message after message after me, and then they pop in once going, "Hey, sorry, we just saw this." So it was I was getting real worried, like they're not engaged. But then when I spoke to them today, I found out that their spa manager walked in and resigned one day, and that just kind of turned their world upside down. So that made me feel better, and we had a really good talk. The last four bullet points there underneath the arrow, those are what I left her with today. Um, so I got him over 130 leads.
Show me your ad. Show me your ad. Let's start with that, actually.
Yeah,
Let's
okay. So let me pull it up here.
You can share your screen, kind of see what you're working with.
Yeah. So she was like, I can't believe how many leads we've gotten. We've never had anything like this. This is fantastic. We're just not able to convert them for whatever reason. So I don't know. Can you see that pretty good?
Yeah, it's $99 per person for couples only, includes a free therapeutic upgrade, 50-minute hot stone, hot towel, aromatherapy exfoliation. Um, okay, and then what's the copy look like?
Um,
Do you have the ad? If you have the ad put, I kind of see it all together in its glory.
yeah, right now, remember the guy I just told you about? I'm logged into his ads manager as him. I don't want to log out of that.
Okay, fair.
Because if I do, I'll have to call him back up and go through that Google code and all that stuff. But it just, the basic stuff. I went to ChatGPT and had it create for me. But like I said, if I go, I can log out here and show you. We've stopped that ad now because they're like, we only wanted to run it through Valentine's Day anyway.
Okay.
They told me that if you recall, that's what they had told me from the get-go. We have this ad we want to run, get as many sales as we can before Valentine's Day, and then we'll start the real ad. So I'm actually working on launching that now. But they say they've had tremendous. You want to turn that back on? Your recording stopped, it said. Anyway, they said they've had tremendous success with this.
No, that was me. Sorry. I have this Fathom thing and I'm trying to stop it from recording everything you're saying. Sorry.
Okay. They told me this offer we're getting ready to launch. They've had unbelievable success, so I'm hoping it'll be more successful. But a week ago today,
What did they find successful? I'm sorry. Is it
it's this new offer. I'll show you this one now. Oh no, is that going to show the right one? That's not
the
the right.
100? So just to clarify, the 100 plus leads was from the Valentine stuff. You got the
Yeah,
lead having trouble working them, $8 a pop. So I don't know what that is in terms of ad spend there.
they had only spent like $270 so far.
Okay.
Is it?
So
$8 a pop, I think you're referring to is the salon for someone else.
okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Mason, thank you. Okay, $200. I mean, yeah, dude, cost per acquisition is about $300-ish anyways, so that's
We
fine.
hadn't even hit that.
Yeah.
What I
Okay.
was, they kept the messages they kept sending me were like, well, our girls can't get anybody to convert. All the people keep saying they just want to think about it. And I was like, oh, I can hear Coach Sheik going, what? This. So in my head, I'm like, you know, you have to have something to come back with that other than just, okay, you got to have. So in my mind, I asked them, would you please record some calls so I could listen? And they haven't done that yet.
Okay.
And then I said, why don't you let me make some calls for you and I'll record them? But you got to let me have a few options to go beyond just
I like
like
that.
let me say, because those things you saw in their ad, the little add-ons
Yeah.
only last for like 10 minutes. So the hot stone thing and the aromatherapy and stuff like that, it's like four or five things that only last 10 minutes. So it breaks up every 10 minutes. They let you sample one of these things. And I was like, why don't you let me just, let me make some calls for you. And I'll just tell them, if you book now, we'll go ahead and extend that aromatherapy throughout the whole massage. It doesn't cost them anything. And she's like, oh, well, we'll let the girls, they're like almost hesitant to let me see behind the scenes. Um, so anyway, I told him,
What do you mean by that?
it's like anytime I suggest, why don't you just go a little bit, why don't you offer a sweetener? Why don't you say, we'll just give you the aromatherapy right now. If you'll book with us on the phone right now, instead of just 10 minutes of aromatherapy, I'll give you the whole 50 minutes.
I
And they
see.
just kind of hem and haw around that, like there's somebody listening in the room with a gun pointed at their head. Don't you let him have that. And they just kind of, well, yeah, and they don't give me any good reason why they wouldn't, because it
How,
doesn't cost anything.
where are you in terms of them allowing you to take a few calls?
She said, that's a good idea today, but
I
that was
think
like the last resort.
I would highly recommend that based off of like what you're sharing with me so far.
Yeah, I told her, you all have given me your go high level, so I can call from that. No one will know I'm calling from Kansas City. Let me just record 2 or 3 calls. I'm sure I can get a sale or two. Then the ladies who are making the calls for you, they'll have somebody to impersonate. They can,
I
you know,
promise you what's happening right now is it's like it's all the things we talk about. It's the offer, it's them not knowing having a script in place. Like so one of the big things Aman would do is he provide a script. The
yeah,
problem is he didn't even know if his script even worked. It literally took us a year for him to get to that conclusion. So he was like taking Great and Ursel stuff, studying his stuff, really trying to understand it, sharing with them, trying to get them to do it, not having conviction himself. Ultimately to get to a point where he's like, hey, let me just work in a med spa. And that's the recent transition he made. He went in there, now he's taking the calls and all that stuff. So what's going to happen is if you tell them to go ahead and do the call, they're probably still not going to do it. Like they're probably not going to do it the right way, and then they're going to come back to it, it's going to be a waste of another $200 of ad spend. Versus if you go in there, I'm confident that you can go in there and actually like understand, even if it doesn't work right away, you're going to be able to tweak it around and get it to work, and then you can give it to them and it'll work for them. It's going to be way faster, trust me, than you giving it to them fumbling around, going back and forth. It just doesn't work. It's going to be wasted ad spend. They're going to get frustrated. So like we can keep running through this. Obviously, I want to hear, but that's the answer. That's the short
yeah.
of it. Trust
That's
me.
what I felt would be a good. I even joked, I'm like, I impersonate voices. I said, so I hear a person's voice. Sometimes I can't do their voice. I can do it after I hear somebody else impersonating them. So I said, I know the idea of getting a sale seems simple, but sometimes you got to hear somebody else doing it. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm part of a program that before I made one phone call to talk to people like you, I listened to a whole bunch of other people and had coaching. And it wasn't something that just happened. I had to learn it. And I said, and the thing that kind of made me think maybe it's not the offer. I mean, the offer is getting plenty of people interested. Where I thought the kink in the hose might be them is she sent me another message on Slack saying, converting has always been a problem for us. And that was a
Okay.
red flag.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
okay, so you've always had problems with this. Then she said one of the people that makes the calls for her is her daughter. Well, I have no idea how old her daughter is. If she's 14, 15 years old, she could be like, Chris Farley. No, thank you. All righty then. You're just walking right out the door. So I'm encouraging her to and those, like I said, those 4 bullet points I showed to you, those were, what I told her today was I said, here are the 4 steps I'd like to take with you to see if we could get this to work. So try some sort of sweetener, offer them, maybe the hesitation is they don't want to spend $200 right then over the phone. So offer them a $50 deposit and they can pay the other 150 when they get there. If that doesn't work, they have some issues within that, like another med spa I use, they use some CRM called Zenoti, which is similar to Gloss Genius. But I looked in their Zenoti. They're like, you can't connect the calendars and it doesn't work. And we were getting double bookings. So I told her, I can fix that for you. I know how. And then I said, like I said, fine. And this is my word. I'd like to be able to make some calls on your behalf and record them if I can model getting a sale or two. So that's my next step is I may just do it without telling them. The
I
problem
think
is I don't have a way to take the payment, but I'll get it from them.
based off what I see at the ad level, I can almost guarantee you there's just not enough pain being created, enough
Yeah.
desire. Like, okay, so hey, you want to do this Valentine's thing. What do you got planned for Valentine's? You got any plans for the husband?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I bet you they're not doing any of that. And then
Just
you,
the whole, oh my gosh, your girlfriend's going to love this. You won't
yeah,
believe it, man. You're
Yeah,
going to get lucky tonight. Just that would sell it for most of the guys. So
exactly. So I bet you they're probably not doing stuff like that. And you just coming in doing small little things like that, I think will make a big difference.
I think, yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, we've only done this for a week, and she told me they had never seen response like that to their ads previously. They had never had that many leads that fast. She goes, so whatever you're doing is working.
Mm.
It's just we're not getting the sales. And then when you go into their high level here, if you look at the ones on following up, uh, call back in a couple hours. She's going to call back. Called and answered, waiting on boyfriend, grocery shopping, going to call back on her birthday. I mean,
Mm.
these are those are low calling back. Customer wants to book for anniversary. So to me, these seem like easy things to have overcome. Like my thing would have been, well, you know what? We're only going to offer 100 of these things. So I know you want to call back, but why don't we just go ahead and get $50 down? That way you don't lose it. And when it's your anniversary, you can come in and pay the other 150. But once these go, they're gone. We're not offering them anymore. We can't afford to. That would have gotten that person, I think, right then and right there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a good week. I did get good news right before I came on here. The guy who's ad manager I'm struggling with due to the lawsuits and all that, the company who is filing the lawsuit against that franchise or whatever you call it, sent me an email, said they would release all of his assets to me. So
Nice.
we're gonna be able to use his original stuff and not have to blow up and create a new identity online. So that'll be great.
That's fantastic. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Huh?
Mason, by the way, was a good help on that. I mean, we couldn't solve it because once we got where we were going, there was nowhere else to go. But I appreciate you, Mason, coming on and helping me with Slack and Go High Level and all that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot right now. I had a couple meetings today. One ghosted me. The other one, we had a really good conversation, but she wanted me to make all the nurturing calls. I just told her no. So that was I'm getting better at standing up for myself and saying no. She did not, she wanted me to she wanted to pay me at first, buy the job. I said, I can't do that. And then she said, why don't you do it for 2 weeks and make all the phone calls for me? And I was like, no, I can't do that.
Jeremy, I don't recognize you. Who is this person, man?
I'm
What's
telling you, man, there are so many things. Like, it's so funny.
projected
I
money?
feel good. Like, you get a couple sales and you're like, you know what? I don't need
Yeah.
to beg and grovel anymore. I know another one's coming down the track and I'll get them.
Yeah.
That's such a good and empowering feeling and a stress bubble that I have carried around in my back for like 20 years. That I'm able to just say, I can't. I even had a couple people who know me, come in my email last week saying they need me to do something, get it done really fast. And I was just like, I can do it for you, but I'm sorry, I can't do it fast. And so they backed off and said, okay, do it when you can. So it's nice to,
Cockiness looks good on you, Jeremy. I like it.
huh?
Cockiness looks good on you.
Yeah, that's right, baby. You know what I would love, what is something maybe I need to talk to you about is I'm confident to this level, but like these three sales, $7,500, great, right? And hopefully at the end of the 3 month cycle, I can just sign them again. What I need to start thinking about, I'm starting to get that feeling in my head like I'm not charging enough.
You're not, for sure. Well, I'm not gonna say you're not. I'm not gonna say you're not charging enough. What I'm gonna say is, there's a video that I created on the 4 numbers that you need to know in your business. Um, have you seen it by any chance, or you haven't got a chance to see it?
I don't know if I've seen it, Koshik.
Okay.
Maybe it's in value drops. I may have.
Yeah, it's in value drops.
I usually watch those right when they pop in.
Yeah, copy link. And I also share it with the other guys. So you can watch this. It's a little bit convoluted, so I'll just kind of give you the short answer right now. If you want to watch this, it's great in terms of like just numbers. Um, another thing I just kind of shared with um, another thing I just kind of shared with these guys here is this, which is statistically, people are willing to give you about 30% of the money that you make them that they wouldn't make without you. Of course, it's a skill of sale. It's a skill of like understanding when to sell to people. You sell to people at the highest deprivation. You don't sell to them when they, feel good. You sell to them when they feel like they have another problem. it's that in itself is part of it is like having the skills to get people results, and then part of it is having the skills to know when to upsell, down sell, how to do it, how to position it. So in other words, if you are charging somebody, you know, so $5,000 divided by three is what?
Oh gosh, man. 1 to 14 something.
It's 1,666.
Okay.
So if I multiply that by three, that means a business owner would be taking home 5K after all expenses, which is probably not the case for your med spa, or maybe it is. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're a med spa business owner, after the cost of goods, cost of fulfillment, cost of advertising, cost of your fee, cost of lights, everything is 5,000 and you're charging 1,666, that would be fair. If, however, they're walking away with 10K, 15K, then you're undercharging.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that has, say cockiness looks good on me. Well, the one thing I'm not cocky about yet is other than Alpida, who I know, is getting results, the other people I'm not sure I've delivered on any results. So I don't know if when I've told that line of like, well, should I go in and raise this price? I always think, well, no, because if they're like, well, show me how many sales you've made for people, I don't have it yet. So
That
yeah,
that video will come in handy. Then I would highly recommend that you do give that video a watch because we do go into things like I'll just kind of give you a quick run. I was like, whatever you want to charge, you need this times 1.5 in ad spend. So let's say you want to charge 1,666. You need to ensure that you have that times 1.5 in ad spend to get results.
okay.
So you have what you want to charge, you have what you need to spend on ads. The other thing is 2 times cost of goods plus cost of fulfillment within 30 days. So this is huge. And this is the part where, you and I are taking baby steps, but this is what you ultimately have to get to. And
Yeah.
this is how you have a business that lasts forever. So what I mean by that is, let's say the cost of goods is $100. Let's say the cost of fulfillment is like $100. You have to, so that's 200, so 400. Okay, so what this means, does this sound familiar or no?
Yeah, that formula, yes, we've gone over.
Okay, so this is how you would know. So again, you charge 1,666. You have to get this amount in ad spend. I don't know what that number is. Maybe let's say $2,000. $2,000 needs to be pumped into this machine where every single customer you're making $400 from within 30 days. And if you do that, the client will have enough profit margin to continue to pay you month after month. So again, it's a little bit convoluted, but like that's how you kind of know, are you undercharging, overcharging, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think I watched that video, but I'll watch it again because
Okay.
that formula is familiar.
Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I feel really good about everything right now. I just
your ads doing? Your niche funnel, your client acquisition, how, because I know we are talking about it kind of dried up. Is this
here.
working now?
Well, I got 2 meetings that came in both today. Here's my numbers through today. So that CPM still looks wonky, but like you said, it doesn't come out. It all comes out in the wash.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the key. It's like you're getting these conversations with these people that are like highly qualified. They have the money. So it is, I think it is a wash. So let's see here. So we're in, are the averages totaled out? Like is everything good there?
Yeah, here's the average column.
Can you double click on link clicks? 596.
Yes.
Can you double click on it? Okay, cool. So your ad spends 4,400. What is your cost per acquisition? Yeah, your acquisition cost is 745. That's fantastic. That's beautiful. So February, how much is your cost per book call? Your cost per book call is $81. Yeah, Jeremy, I mean, things look great. Things look fine.
Yeah, I don't feel, earlier until I had spoken to you, I think last week and the week before, the CPM was the only thing that was giving me kind of like, what's going on here? But then what you showed me last week with the Mons numbers and stuff, it looks like it's all coming out in the wash. And I will say that the people I speak to, none of them are like, remember my heart attack I was having on the 6 figures in 6 weeks. None of them are coming to me like, what do you do? And I should give people shots in the alleyway. It's none of that. I'm speaking to well-established, people with genuine problems, genuine trying to figure things out type stuff. So I don't, as long as the numbers underneath that CPM stay good, I'm going to be okay, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Like that your CPM tells me that that's who you're speaking to. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's fantastic. I don't see yeah, things seem cruise control, pretty normal. Um, anything else you want to go over? I mean, we've made major thing to pull on, major lever there is for you. So with these med spas, the ones that are your average med spas, this is one of the things I wanted your experience. I wanted your experience to kind of see sometimes how difficult it can be. Is it an offer problem? Is it whatever problem? So I would say with her, I can almost guarantee if you go in there, do the calls yourself, even for like 3, 4 days, it'll be a 9 day difference. And then moving forward, it'll probably you don't be surprised if you have to do that moving forward with a few other med spas.
Yeah.
How you really figured it out. And I think if you just do like even maybe just one client, you document your calls, create some kind of document, SOP, whatever, I think you might be good.
It's funny, you've been telling me that now for a couple weeks
Yeah.
that you're going to find out semaglutide's harder, blah, 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 blah. And when they started getting the leads and the sheer numbers they were getting them, I thought, oh, you can get 3 or 4 sales a day with that. That's no problem. And then, of course, they've gotten them. I think they have 2, she told me today. It's like, dadgummit, Koshik's right again. So I'm going to stop doubting you and just go with the flow and be like, maybe I should have right out of the beginning, maybe with people like them, I should just, as part of my offer is, look, the first couple of days, I'm just going to do the calls for you. I'm going to get these sales and show you it can be done.
That's fantastic. If you can, Jeremy, what I like about what you're doing, what's really strong for you is that a lot of these agencies, I mean, they're going to charge 750, $1,000 a month versus you're coming out the gate and you're charging the 3 grand and 3 grand, whatever. Of course, you can maybe start increase the price, but what that allows you to do is you're more flush with cash. And so it allows you to go in there and like do these kinds of things where you're offering to take calls. And I think if you make that part of your SOP, where you say, hey, look, the first, when we launch the last first 3 days, I'm going to take the calls, I'm going to record them, I'm going to give them to you. And that's my expectation for you. That's going to, you come in there, you already kind of know what's going on. You know what that market is like. You figure some stuff out. They can't come back at you. They can't complain. That's a fantastic idea. Again, that would be my suggestion too, if you stay broad.
Right.
Now, if you niche down in a particular service, again, that conversation is different. You can really systematize, then create course material, whatever. Or if it's semaglutide so good that it's hard not to sell it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's all the last couple of weeks, I feel the word that comes to my mind is blessed. I just feel very blessed at where things are going, especially like a couple of weeks ago, I thought, where are all the calls and meetings going? And then it just, you just got to, for the new guys, you got to get used to that kind of ebb and flow and once you do so I'm getting used to that. It's just like I said in my little win video or whatever, seems to come in bunches, with me anyway. And so, what you have to know is as long as you stick with it, the numbers always end up right at the end of the month. It may not be right the first week or two, but the next 2 weeks will make up for it. So yeah, I feel pretty good right now, and knock on wood, it stays that way. I've got another lady who's very interested right now. I thought I was going to get to come to the meeting with another sale, but she hasn't answered me yet. So crossing my fingers for her, but yeah,
Sounds good.
appreciate everything. I know my clock is ticking, so I'm going to get off of here and let somebody else have at it. And I'm going to finish up this ad. So I'm going to hop off of here and get this published. And I may just not ask. I may just send them a thing saying, hey, I've got your access to go high level. I'm going to make these calls for you and just do it. So I don't think, what are they going to do? Fire me?
Right.
So,
Okay, cool. All right, Jeremy. Well, if that's everything, then we'll see you. We'll see you next week then.
okay. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Okay, who do we got next? Keith, we got you next.
Yeah, me.
So we last talked about, kind of what you want to add to the script, the basement niche. Is it large enough? What else
Yeah.
was in your mind?
Well, I guess it's really just that. It's like I have a really solid connection to a whole bunch of these contractors through my client that I'm very good with. I have to talk to him about the specifics and see if like they're comfortable referring me on something like this. I don't see why they wouldn't be because delivered for them for years. And, I'm like almost basically friends with the marketing director. But I guess my concern is I don't want tunnel vision on that, right? So like if it's like, hey man, gutters is like where it's at, or HVAC, like duct cleaning or whatever, like that's like there's so much larger of a market for that. I don't want tunnel vision just because I do have a good connection to just like, silo me into something that's not going to be as like potentially profitable as what it could be. So that's just where I'm at. And then with now getting access to the channel and seeing some of the stuff, then I just got to go through and like do all of that stuff, which I did start to do in Chat GPT. But and I saw like what like Ahmad did and stuff. Like he did a whole rundown, which is really cool. I actually took that his prompt and then changed it up a little bit and threw it into Chat GPT and started doing my own research. So I'm just sort of at that place where I just got to really dig in, do some research, and make some decisions. So I don't know.
Okay, cool. I can kind of share my thoughts, or
Yeah,
if they're
please.
okay.
Yeah.
So, um, in terms of the basement niche, it's really so. In terms of the number of business owners in a particular area, right? So the total available market, I think that's a big deal if you're running Facebook ads to close a deal. Like Jeremy, for example, he's using paid ads instead of doing this free to fee hook model.
Right.
So for that case, you need to have enough business owners.
Yeah.
In your case, I don't think so. If for anybody here that's doing the the hook model,
Yeah.
you just need to be able to find a business owner that you can scrape in a particular location.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
it's
there's
like,
plenty. Yeah.
yeah, that's it, dude. Like, so I wouldn't. So if
Yeah.
your question is large enough, that's your answer. If
Okay.
you can go out there and do what Righteous did in 24 hours, hook at least one business owner, hook one. If you spend all day, right, 8 hours, commit one whole day. If you can hook like three business owners, dude, you're good. Like, it's not
Yeah.
an issue with the number of business owners in that particular niche. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'll tell you about that in terms of like large enough.
When
Um,
real quick on the hook calls, when you're hooking somebody, like I mean, you're just like putting a toe in the water, right? It's not like you have to follow up and actually give them the leads, or like how is that? What's like the next step after hooking them? Like, I mean, it seems like from what I've seen, I mean, I don't know how many everybody did. I think somebody got like 3 for 3, right? So it's like who's gonna turn down free leads, like giving it as a trial, right? So it seems super easy. So like after that step though, then you don't have the leads. So like what's the next step after that, I guess?
yeah. So,
You know how I
um,
have to color in the lines, so
yeah.
just do
So
that for me real quick.
I got you. So really, it's
Yeah.
simple. It's you just create the so if you're looking for an SOP, it would be creating a Facebook page and it'd be creating an Instagram within that niche. The next step is literally running ads
Yeah.
and
Okay.
generating them in that particular. You run ads in that particular location with that Facebook, that Instagram, and
Yeah.
then from there, once you get the lead, you can set up so you talk to them. Da 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 da. How's it going? Da da
Mhm.
da. Kind of figure out that whole script, and then from there, it's like, hey, give me a second. I'm gonna connect you with my manager and see if he's available.
Sure.
I
Okay.
tell the owner, hey, are you available? I got a lead on the line. They say, yeah. Okay, great. Connect them.
So after hooking somebody, then we're actually that's not just like to sample like are people gonna go for it? That's like, hey, now we're gonna deliver, right?
So, so the way I'm suggesting that we do is like you hook people to answer like some of the questions you have right now. Like, hey, is this a good niche? Are they large enough? Is
Yeah.
this work? So you need to first know if it's going to work or not. Once we
Yeah.
know that it works, now go out there and actually like run the ads and get the consumers and then connect them to a business owner.
Okay. Okay.
It doesn't make sense to the way Drew did it and the way most people do is they run the ad first to see if it even works. And then from
Gotcha.
there, they do the hooking. But if you watch some of his, I don't know if you watch his most recent call where he was interviewed by the other coach in the other coaching program, but he
Mhm.
says that now what he does now is he hooks the business owner first and then he runs ads in that location
Yeah.
and do it the way
Okay.
he used to do it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Um, so the other thing you said, So that's what so yeah, I would say, I like how you're kind of coming before when we first met, you were very tunnel vision. I remember you're like, I got this guy, it's a big opportunity. And now you're kind of the opposite of that. Like, hey, I don't want to screw
Right.
myself.
Yeah.
But it's exact
Yeah.
opposite. I love it. But I
Yeah.
would say I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I would say
Yeah.
if you can kill two birds with one stone, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if I were you, the number one thing is, obviously go through material and then just try to hook a few business owners in one day. And then from
Yeah.
there, if it works, great, we'll hang out there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And then what specific is it? It's basement repair?
So there's okay, so I think basement waterproofing is like the larger play, right? Because I think that there's more businesses out there. But as a subset of that is basement foundation repair. So my client, they're called Fortress Stabilization. They do carbon fiber products for people that do crack repair for concrete. Like if you have crack in your garage, they have stitches that they can do. But there's also these carbon fiber straps that basically, like if a wall is bowing or tipping or shearing, that basically they put these straps on and it stabilizes the foundation. So that those projects in and of themselves are several $1,000s, but they're absolutely necessary because if you don't stop your wall from caving in, like your house is gonna fall apart. In fact, I was on location a few months ago shooting one where like it was bad, like his whole outside wall was crumbling and stuff. So, anyways, so it's a need. It's just I don't know how big of a need it is, like overall. I mean, but they do like that company's worth millions. Like they do huge business. So there's obviously something out there. So I feel like if I would maybe target basement waterproofing first myself, but I also feel like if I can set it up with my client where I can come to his clients and say, "Hey, I work with Fortress and I have this program." I feel like it's like fish in a barrel at that point because Fortress they put out such good products that and not the price point is great and stuff too that I just feel like it's like having that leg up, I'm gonna be able to knock down some serious business. But I just have to make sure that I know what the hell I'm doing because I don't want to make my client look bad either by referring me. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I want to try it with somebody outside of their network first, I think, to refine the process before I really come. I have mentioned something about this to him. And of course, we've talked about like the whole show thing, the YouTube show and stuff like that. That's the same person. So, I mean, all of that stuff is intertwined for me. And it's just, I don't know, to me, it seems like a tremendous, like I did like 3D animation for them and then I kicked out individual videos for like 50 or 60 of their contractors, which just had like their logo and stuff. So like I already have like basically all the contact info of all these contractors. It's just I wouldn't approach them and say that
Right.
I'm affiliated with Fortress without getting the blessing. But I think he'd be totally fine with it. He probably might want like a 10% kickback or something, but whatever. We could do that. So that's why to me it's like so huge. But again, also I don't know if like, hey, does it work to even advertise on Facebook for
Right.
foundation repair? You
Right.
know?
Right.
So those
So
are the things I would want to test before I really push the go button and go through him.
yeah, 100%. I would
Yeah.
definitely say like he's kind of like that's the cherry on top, right? That's when
Yeah.
things get that's easy cruise control.
Yeah.
So once you do a little bit of the harder work, the foundational work first. So
Yeah.
another thing I'll share with you is, I mean, hopefully you just kind of see it. Like, I mean, you can't lose either way. Like just
Right.
it's easy as you can see to hook. And then from there, as long as you can get results. And then so my thing is this, I talked to Aiden and he's
Mhm.
sending over a Loom video sometime today or tomorrow. And what I asked him to do is I told him, take all the niches you've done and give me the ad, the snapshot from every single one that just works for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So then it's just kind of like, okay, he's on roofing, he's on this, he's on that. So which one do you want to
Mhm.
do?
Right.
That's kind of
Right.
like your that's kind of like our backup option if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
And I always figure I could pivot if it ends up being Like, they're just it's just not moving. But I mean, I already have a previous client I built a website for that does this foundation repair. He does basement waterproofing, and he's already expressed interest because I talked about this to him. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it just seems like a no-brainer, unless the market's not there. So that's the thing I got to figure out.
So if I were to give you step-by-step directions, it's step one is go through the stuff that's outlined within there. Step
Yeah.
two is, once you confirm like, hey, Kushik, I definitely want to get started with the basement repair. Let's give it a shot. Okay, great. Step two is try to hook somebody, spend a day trying to hook. Let us know, record your calls. Step
Yep.
three is if it does work, then carve out some time to spend on some money, $200, for example, just running some ads, see if that stuff works. If it does work,
Yep.
fantastic. Connect that over, boom. And then literally just rinse and repeat that for like 1 to 2 months before you feel good enough to reach out to, your contact and kind of, again, that's just a walk in the park, I would say
For
at that
sure.
point.
Yep. Okay.
That's it. And
Okay.
then if somewhere we have to deviate, we just deviate to another niche that's already been figured out. Copy
Yep.
and paste.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. And that was where I was kind of coming from when I was talking to you about like, yeah, I want to go where the money is. Because I figured like you guys have done so many things that are tested, whereas this is sort of like, coming in from the side. But now that you've got, Aiden and stuff, and he's seems to run the gamut on, home services, it's like, man, it just seems like he's just successful across the board. So yeah.
So can't really lose. So
Yeah. Cool.
um what else anything else that's on your mind that you want to chop it up about, man?
No, no, I just gotta do the work and get moving on it. So I'm gonna try to start doing some of those calls on like Wednesday and Thursday and stuff. So
Okay, cool. Just keep
yeah.
us posted. Just let us
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
Cool.
For
All right.
sure.
We go in circle to our next person. You can hang out, or if you want to balance, that's cool too.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit and then I'll go. So thanks.
Yep. Um, Mr. Riviera. Um, so in terms of the tech question, you had a tech question, right? Oh, okay, okay. Um, so, in terms of the best method to scrape leads, what's what's kind of going on? Like, are you using like Google Maps and typing things in, or like what is it? Are you having a difficult time finding HVAC business owners that way, or?
I mean, I just use a Fiverr guy, but I'm just curious if there's like a way to do it to like, basically just scrape certain cities and just basically, yeah, just methodology, right? I think I've used Fiverr guys and some of them have limitations. They'll say, oh, like we just scrape all of the USA, get you 10,000, and then you can filter by city from there.
Hmm.
But that seems a little excessive, right? So I don't know why they do such large quantity and they kind of have that model, but I was just curious if there's a way just to scrape for certain city, certain county, just scrape everything you could from there and then have like a data sheet, like an Excel or Google Sheet doc for it. But I was just curious if there was anything better than kind of what I've been seeing. Kind of in limbo with the Fiverr guys, kind of late on giving me it, but unfortunately on Valentine's Day I got kind of sick from my girlfriend, so finally recovering. I felt a little bit better today. I think I just had a head cold or something, but it was pretty intense. But in the meantime, yeah, just I was just curious if there was something where I could just go boom, 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 like down the list kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. You know as much as I do in terms of that aspect of it, man. Um, I don't. I think I do think I list off some sources within. It's been so long. I don't use these myself. I just kind of create material on this, but I believe in this video. In this video, I believe somewhere I talk about various lead scraping sources. Um, I just don't have experience using them myself.
Would you necessarily need a huge list, or would you just need to be able to look up an area and like just call
I
the person who answers first?
That's it.
Yeah, I guess I could have that. Yeah,
So
I
if
was just
that's the
curious.
case, if that's the case, you can just use the prospecting tool inside of Go High Level.
Oh, really? There's a prospecting tool?
Yeah. So do you mind if I
Mason,
share my screen?
yeah, please.
Okay. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So if I just type in like add a prospect and I type in like roofers, it'll probably pull up near me, like where I live, but then you have
Mhm.
everything here. So like
Mhm.
let's click on this. If I'm like doing calls there, but their numbers right here. Okay, back to search. Now I can go here. Their numbers here.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if that helps, but that's something that you can do. But they're just gonna have all the phone numbers and their location, and the cool thing is like you can just jump on their website as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it should work. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know they had that. That's cool.
Yep. So I mean that's something that you can do. Like I just don't see a point in getting a huge list. I would
Mhm.
like if you have your winning niche, like yeah, you can do that, but then like all you'd have to do is just type in like Ohio Reefers. I'm sure it would pop up. Columbus, here you go. And then there's just a huge list. You can go 2, 3, 4, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I guess my thinking was with the list is just like having something where I can mark off, like that way I don't accidentally call somebody again just because
Mhm.
I don't know how much in my mind I'm gonna be going through until I like go to a different area. But if I were really knocking down an area, I don't want to I just something so I can kind of mark off again, just kind of see where I kind of at with them in terms of follow up. But yeah, I'll look into that too. For now.
You, prob- you probably
And
just
that's something I didn't even know that was possible. So
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Mason. Yeah, you could probably just take those and take a location, copy and paste them into an Excel sheet, and then have like tabs,
yeah,
called, didn't followed up, whatever.
cool.
So I solved that problem for you. Cool. I
Cool.
do. There are like things that, like for example, Drew does where he like sees how saturated location is, like specific tools that he uses. I might be getting my hands on that stuff here soon, and if I do, I will be passing it off to you guys. Um,
Sweet.
you know. In terms of this, so we have I didn't tell you about this, and so I told Keith about this. I've told a handful of people about this, but we've got a guy, Aiden, who joined our program a while ago, and he recently sent me these two videos because he saw our call a few weeks ago about the free to fee strategy, and he reached out. He's like, "Kushik, this is banger. This is fantastic. I need help regarding this." He's like figure out how to do service delivery and home service niches, which is what Keith was talking about. So many different things, roofing, HVAC, just so many different things. And he kind of like figured out a strategy that works for him, which is I believe it's an ad. And then from there, people go into a page. And I think it's what you're talking, which is like, hey, get an estimate for this thing or see how much this would cost. And then it's kind of
Hmm.
like a survey. And then from there, people are called. And because of just like how it's framed, people are just open to it, and he's been able to figure that out. And he said like that's like the best thing that's ever worked for him. And he's saying like it just works across the board. So he's going to be creating a video for me. I will share that with you, where he's
Sweet.
just like, yeah. So that might answer
Awesome.
your question. So in
Mhm.
terms of like, yeah, like it sounds to me like if you crack that, that's much better than just doing instant forms. So
Yeah,
I
the instant form sounds like it doesn't really answer. I mean, and all that stuff. So I don't know the quality there, but yeah, I've been seeing like so many just lead to a landing page where it's like put in your zip code, see if you qualify, right? I haven't really fully funnel hacked to see like what it looks like at the end. I really should just use one of my other emails and maybe I just dig in today, but yeah, I think I'll switch over to that just to try it out. But I mean he's getting clicks, he's getting like some leads, but I think if I were to funnel him into something like that, maybe he'll get more receptive leads, you know?
how much is it costing for a lead, and how many have you gotten so far?
Um, I don't have an official sheet, which I'm making him today, but right now just kind of what we've spent so far. I think let's see the maximum. Average cost per lead like $24 from
Okay.
all the three ad sets that we've been running. The current ad set $22. He's got like a $2.67 click and then 2.64% unique click-through rate. 20 clicks off $45 spent on this ad set so far.
Hmm. Okay.
CPM like $51.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's a totally new niche, and I'm like, oh, my buddy closed. He's like, he heard I'm trying to crack, home service in terms of HVAC, but he was like, dude, could you do window and doors? I'm like, screw it, and it gives me a chance to kind of play with somebody else's ad spend and learn the niche. So I was like, hell yeah. So obviously I'm being white labeled, so I'm trying to learn the communication. It's not like you're direct to client, so I feel like I'm
Mm.
playing a game of telephone between my buddy and then him telling his client, and I feel like the communications kind of break have like a communication breakdown. Like, he probably doesn't know, there wasn't really an onboarding process. There wasn't really a, certain things that just weren't there, right? And it's not really my client to go and say and take full control. So it's kind of like this weird situation. I've never been white labeled, so it's just totally new to me. But you know, at the end of the day, he's very optimistic, and he just is he's like, yeah, you guys just keep cracking it. I just can't wait till it hits. So far I like what I see, and he seems very easygoing from what my buddy told me. So he's just excited, and we barely kind of starting. So if I could get him like some really receptive leads, and he already said he got a someone called him directly, said he saw his IG ad or the ad on Instagram. And so he's actually going out there today. So he's actually going to be seeing one of the leads in person
Okay,
today.
so
So
how much has been spent though, total?
before my buddy kind of handed it off to me, he had spent like $200 just boosting a post, and it was just giving them followers and likes, and then they would follow up on the followers, but they wouldn't even get messages back. And then at that point, my buddy was like, hey, could you just join in? I'll pay you $500, come in and do your thing, with Go High Level and the way you kind of work them through the process, because I really don't know anything. So at that point, I took over, and I've spent 122 so far on my end.
So that 122 is responsible for one of those estimates.
Yes.
Okay, nice, dude. That's fantastic, dude. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. But yeah, like now he's getting leads, and once in a while, but they just won't answer. I don't know if he's double dialing, right? I'm telling my buddy to tell him, but my buddy says, yeah, he's told him, but who knows how good he's at explaining it, or all those things. So
What
it's like I don't
one
I don't see the calls happening. I don't see him texting and Go High Level. So it sounds like he's just like probably taking the information and doing it through his personal phone. So that's kind of like where I don't feel like I have full control of the quality, or the, that respect of like what needs to get done on the client end. But I'm trying my best, feel like my hands are kind of tied a little bit, but I know that this guy is pretty good at closing. So, you know, maybe, we just give him the leads, and he knows how to rock it.
So if I were to kind of give you a suggested plan of action, I would do this. So step one would be just like give me like about 24 hours and I'll get some stuff over to you. And then from there, that might be like, oh, okay, great. I will like model this and give this a shot. Step two would then be if I were you, I would create some kind of a loom once you're sure on it, whether it's the incident form or whether it's going to a funnel. I would not create a loom until you've confirmed, like, okay, this is what I want to run with. And that
Mhm.
loom, if I were you, I would go over the process of like, hey, speed to lead, this, that, like the top five pillars, and then as well as like KPIs that you should be aiming for. So X number of leads, are these lead to purchase conversion rate will be this. Here's what to expect. Here's how to know if everything's healthy or not. Just a simple Loom video like that,
Mhm.
you can pass that on, get your buddy to pass that on, and your
Yeah,
buddy, like, hey, this is an associate of yours, or this is a team member. I think that could work out really
yeah,
well
that
for
would be
you.
dope. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. After I kind of get
Um,
everything right, after I kind of get the more information to kind of get that confidence to be like, this is what we're shifting towards.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, that's what I've got for you, man. What else is going on?
That's pretty much it. Haven't really done the free to feed. Like I said, I was kind of sick, so my voice was super nasty, and I just, yeah. But I'm gonna take what kind of Mason showed me, and that way I'm not just waiting on some Fiverr dude for the freaking data, so I could just start right away. Maybe I
Start,
could get
man.
a call in before the end of the day here. I'm a little bit earlier on the time zone, so
Yeah.
um,
I did put you in here, right? Did I put you in
yeah,
here?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, man, I mean, I'm seeing great progress so far. I mean, I saw Cam 3 for 3. Righteous did his first one, hooked his first one.
nice.
So I'm I'm seeing good signs so far with everybody. So just how, I think hopping in there and kind of like reviewing some calls. Um,
Mhm.
reviewing some of Drew's. Have you seen Drew's calls?
Seen Drew's calls. I've seen all his calls. I haven't. I've seen one of Cam's calls, and then I'm actually gonna watch Righteous's right after this. So,
Cool, cool.
but
Uh,
so far I've seen mostly Drew's, but I've also seen just one of Cam's. Probably gonna watch one more Cam's, one and then see Righteous's, and then just probably go off from there. As I'm like listening to the calls too on Cam's, I'll like do small little tweaks in the script and stuff. But
Yeah, cool. And I would just say like for the guys, I mean, definitely like Cam's great, Righteous is great, but definitely I would say play closest to the chest, right? So model Drew's, if anything, right? So like for example, Drew says very specific things at the very beginning over and over again. So just kind of
yeah,
do because I know there's a rhyme and reason behind why he does what he does. Um, so cool, man. Keep us posted on the stuff here. Anything else that you wanted to go over?
nothing. Yeah, I just Drew stuff blew my mind when he did the. I saw the sales one because he had some hook calls, but then you showed me you had one that was like a sales one, and I was like, dude, this is freaking crazy. He's like not even showing them like 20 slides. Like this guy's like bought in. He's just because he got the lead, so he's already bought in. You don't have to really. I mean, he kind of did, right? He showed a little, but I think even in your comments, you're like, I don't know what's the necessity of showing this because he's already seen bought in. So it kind of like was like, dang, he probably could have even done that in half the time, which is crazy to think about. But
He's doing, I don't know if you saw his call on Nick's channel. Um,
oh, the
have you?
podcast format?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
did.
okay. Yeah, he said, I think he said within that video, he said like he's like not even doing Zooms anymore. It's like a 15-minute call or something. They're converted over. Just like insane to me. But
Yeah.
uh,
So, but I'm excited. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll watch the rest of these videos and then I'll just start dialing.
cool, cool, cool.
I'll record some of my own too. That way, maybe we could. Well, that little I'm trying to keep you up to date, but that form that we have in the group, maybe I could add my Zoom calls too.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, guys. Everybody that's in here, please, please, please come into the doc, and I've made it editable for everybody, so you guys can come in here. Everybody, just put resources. Let's build this thing out together, so we can all grow faster. I've also put this here. I'll quickly explain it. So, question. So, is it put your name in here, and then is it a question on setting appointments? Is it a question on closing appointments? Is it a question on service delivery? On operations, and then what is your question? And then hopefully we can slowly bang these out together. Um, and then I don't know, I might put another tab here for other resources. So please, please, everybody edit this together. Um, cool. Anything else, Revere, that you want to talk about, man?
No, that's it. I do have to take off here, but yeah, I'll start implementing some of what was talked about.
Cool, cool. All right, man.
All right,
We'll see you. We'll see you. Cheers.
later.
Man, we're just flying through today. Mr. Mr. Righteous, you're up. So how do you turn, should I only reach out to, okay, so I'll go and just answer the bottom one, and the first one I'll pass it off to Mason. So you should be reaching, you don't have to stick to Columbus, right? You can honestly like do anywhere and everywhere.
Okay. I was fit because I was looking and I was hearing other people's script. I'm like, it's not like they all over the place. I'm like, I'm just picking Columbus. Why am I just picking Columbus?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that kind of popped up in my head. But okay, good to know. Good to know. So
Cool, cool. Yeah, man, that's a beautiful thing about this is it's really scalable. So cool. Um, Mason, I'll hand this one over to you.
so where does it only send on that first message, Righteous, or does it send on multiple?
so just on that first message it does it. But if I text them again, it won't do it again. But the problem is like if I'm doing the free fee and I text out, like what Drew is texting out and it has like Bridges Media Agency,
Right,
I'm like,
right.
they're gonna be like, that's obviously a fucking spam.
It kind
But
of
people are
rings.
replying, so like I've been doing it. But today I just started using my cell phones. I'm just like, I don't want that to show up, and I
Yeah,
just been doing that lately.
yeah. There's not really a way around it. Like when you're sending a first message from Go High Level, you need to have that just to be compliant with ATP and 10 DLC. So
Okay.
if you're going to use this method, I would just recommend using your normal cell phone Plus, that kind of gets rid of that red flag that you're kind of talking about, which to me makes complete sense.
Yeah.
But if you ever wanted to change exactly what it says, if you just go into settings, then you go to business profile on the right hand side underneath general. When you scroll down on the right, there's boxes that are going to be checked, but if you uncheck them, you can actually edit them and then just customize it a little bit.
Okay, so just change up the text.
Either do that or just do it from your phone. At that point, I would probably just do it from your phone.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking just do it from my phone until like I actually get like 5 people on the hook. Because once I do that, I'm probably gonna make a whole page anyway, and then I can have a number attached to that page. And then if I want to continue to get business owners, I could start doing a text blast to go high level. And that could be like later down the road. But in the beginning, I don't think it'll be a big deal because people respond once they see the text.
Are
And
you are
then
you are you an Android user or an Apple user for your phone?
iPhone.
Okay, so I literally I got this from a mastermind recently. This team literally bought iPhones for all their setters just to like message people. So and the reason for it is because of the name showing up and because of the blue circle. And that has
Okay.
increased conversion dramatically. So the best thing to do is to message people from your phone. It's not to use Go
Okay.
High Level. It's using your phone. So like do that for now. And then if you want to test it out just for scalability, other things, right? Using a Go High Level number down the road, go for it. But like for now, your best move would be to like definitely use your phone for now. And you might want to just you might even just like carry on to doing that. You might have like a specific iPhone just for, just this if
Messaging
you, yeah, yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Okay. Yeah, I felt like that was probably the only thing that probably had slowed me down maybe yesterday. Because I think Sunday, that's what I was just using the Go High Level phone. But I was like, yeah, I'm not, this probably ain't gonna work. So they actually read into it. They'll see
Yeah.
Bridges Media Agency and just probably be turned off. So far I've been using my phone today and I've been getting a bunch of texts back. I've just been calling people, just been playing phone tag and haven't had a chance to really get through the script. But I got like one more person on the hook. I just gotta get him back on the call because he said that he had somebody on the other line and it was a tow truck company. So I'm like,
Mm.
this is golden. It works. You just gotta keep working, just about the volume you do, and eventually you'll have 5, 10 people on the hook if you keep going.
Yeah. How many people did you like send a message to today and that responded to you?
Yeah, so today I spent, let me just do my phone. Um, 2, 3. I sent a bunch of texts, but I got like 3 texts back,
Yeah.
4. So 4 people hit me back. I hopped on a call with one guy that's interested. But like I said, I was kind of playing phone tag with him because he said he had somebody on the other end. And then another guy I talked to, he was interested, but he said he was just getting over like the flu or something. So he was like, just give me a call back and I'll be willing to talk. But he was like, my voice is crappy right now and I feel like shit. So
Yeah.
and I think I had 2 people that weren't interested, which is cool because I'm like, it's just a numbers game. So
Okay. So the 4 people that responded back, how many approximately did you text? I'm just trying to get conversion. I'm just curious. That's where I'm coming from. Like, is it like 10 people that you text and then 4 of them responded and one is interested?
no, I text, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 29 people. I text like 29 business owners.
So this is like specifically today or
Yeah, today I was counting from 10:30 this morning.
okay. So 29 texts, 4 response, and then 1 interest.
Yeah, one for sure interest because I actually talked to him. I got like part way through the script, but I got enough to the point where he knew that I was offering him leads and I need somebody to service them. So he understood that part. He just was like, give me a call back. And then ever since I called him back at like 4 today, he didn't answer. So we just been playing phone tag. So I just got to get him back on the line.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, man, like I think you have proof of so I guess like what's brewing in your head right now? Like what's kind of the plan of action for you? Like step by step. Like where are you at?
So I would say, because I was kind of in a situation Revere was in as far as like coming up with a list. I was just having a little bit of issues with Chat GPT trying to make it as simple as I possibly can. But I found a way to actually get a list. So I got a bigger list now. And now that I know that I'm gonna use my phone to text them, I'm gonna just run through that list. It's like it's like at least another 40, maybe 50 contacts on there. And I only need a couple people to respond back so I can just hop on the phone with them. And
Okay.
then my game plan would be to get, three more yeses for sure.
Okay. And then from there, what?
From there will be once I get the yeses, then it will be, to get the leads for them and start the service delivery.
Okay. Have you started the process of creating a Facebook page and Instagram, all that stuff?
Not yet, because I only got one yes. So I was like, maybe I should wait until I get, three more yeses and then do that. But if I should start doing that now, I can.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest with you. Like, I think one is on it. Like, from what I saw, from what I heard, like, to me, it's like this works. So
yeah,
you can spend the time and energy and you can do two more if you want to. Or, I would start the process of like the Facebook, the Instagram, all that stuff, and like funnel hacking, all that stuff. And then again, I have a video that Aiden created for me. Did I tell you about Aiden? I know I'm just like telling some people about it.
yeah, you told me about Aiden. You said he was in like the home appliance, I believe, or like construction.
Yeah. So I will send you the same thing. Did I send you the videos he sent me?
No, I haven't gotten the video that he sent you.
Okay. So I will just go and send that over your way now. Um, Basically, to give you context, he worked with us back in 2023, did well. Now he's crushing it across various different home service niches. He saw our call 2 weeks ago. He's like, Kushik, I want help scaling in one particular niche. And so he wants help with the creative fee hooking process, but he's got service delivery dialed in. So I asked him today to create a video for me and share with me like how he's like cracked the code for all these niches. And it's like the same process. It's like an ad that goes to like a funnel. It's kind of same. It's like cookie cutter. So I'll
Mhm.
share that with you and that'll maybe get the wheels turning. He's
Yeah.
gonna send a video later today or tomorrow on like show me the specific ads, snapshots, all that stuff, so I can pass that off to you guys. Um, so that's where I would like my attention would be if I were you right now, because like you've already proven that it works. You've already that for me, from what I've seen, it already works.
Okay.
I would start the process of like building the Facebook, the Instagram, launching ads, all that stuff. That's where my focus would be if I were you.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if I was there yet. I thought I had to still get maybe three more yeses and then go from there. But yeah, if you give me the green light, then I'll get the move on for sure.
Yeah. Check these out. Wait for, something tomorrow that will probably post in here, where I'll message you personally. But yeah, start the process, man. Start the process. That's it. Start the process.
Okay. I'm about to
And
say
start.
because I do got one person on the hook, so like
Yeah, you
it's been a
got one.
day.
Yeah, you got
So
that, guys. So you can. I mean, shoot. If I was you, bro, like you could honestly. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Like if right now it's 7 o'clock. By tomorrow, you could have Facebook, Instagram launch ads and have some leads to hand off to them. Honestly, by tomorrow.
yeah,
And
okay,
day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you could try to close them by Thursday or Friday. Like that's what I would be doing if I were you.
okay, got you. I'll get straight to it.
Cool, man. What else, bro? What else do you want to chop it up about?
Um, I mean that pretty much clarified everything for me. I was taking like baby steps, but like I'm ready to go because I feel like this is definitely um it's gonna work. Like every call I'm hopping on, like it's super easy. Like I was fighting tooth and nail. I felt like on discovery calls and sales calls, and it's like this is like a no-brainer. I did watch your video that you well not your video, like the comments that you left and made some adjustments to the script. I just went back and just listened to Drew's part on anchoring, so I just kind of recreated that in there, and so I won't be doing guessing as far as like their profit margins and stuff like that on the call either. So
Well,
Uh,
it's not that I what I meant. So I'll kind of actually this would be a good time to talk about your call. I think this would be a fantastic idea. So did you hear what Keith said earlier about like one location, one website?
no, no.
Okay, so what he said, he was listening to a lot of Drew's calls and he was like, man, what I really want to hammer, and this is one of the things I left you a comment on, is how is how it's like you said like the leads come from like Facebook, Instagram. I was like, no, you don't need to say that. What you want to do is you want to say that you have one page designated to one area
Okay, yeah,
for this because now there's scarcity and there's urgency.
yeah.
And so Keith was going into that. So at the beginning of this call, if you want to listen, like literally the first like 3 minutes, Keith and I were talking about that a little bit. So I think it's a fantastic idea. That's what I would be doing as well. I would be really nailing it. It's like, hey, so I got this website. It's got leads. Here's how it works. I got to give these away to one business owner. Look for one business owner to pair this website with. This is what I do. Now it's like one, one, one. I would be drilling that one, one, one.
Got
Um,
you.
in terms of what I meant about the profit margin is like I knew that was like your first call. And so for me, if I was stepping in your shoes as like the first call, I would come at it from a place of like curiosity. I know what you did. I understand. I would come at it from a place of curiosity, like, hey, so your profit margin is about 30%. And if you hear like from five guys, six guys, like, hey, profit margin is around 30%, now you know, and you can go in with confidence on your call seven, eight, nine. Hey, so I understand the profit margin is probably 30%, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Da da da. Here's what your numbers can be. Here's what I would expect. That's kind of what I meant about that.
Okay.
Um, what else? Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, like I thought it was a solid 7 out of 10 as like your very first call. Um, yeah, and then like one thing again with Drew is yeah, you'll notice that he says he's really strong on anchoring. That's a big part of selling this is like anchoring and starting from the top and saying, hey, here's what I typically charge. Going to be 1,000 for the first month, but for you, it's $250 a week. And for that $250, here's the expect. And so again, if you listen back to Drew's call, and I uploaded a recent one actually. I came in here and I added call five. So if you log out, log in, you'll see this one now. And that
Okay.
guy's a real talker. He's a real talker. But he says over and over and over and over again, like, yeah, here's the outcome. Here's how many leads you're going to get for that amount spent. So those are some of the things that I saw that could use a little bit of improvement. But again, I felt it was pretty good, like 7 out of 10 for sure. Um,
Appreciate that. Your
yeah,
7 out of 10 is like a 10 out of 10 for me. Because I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. I'm not gonna I thought it was. I was like, this is, you know.
no, no, man, you're
But
good.
yeah,
No, it was some of the part like I've noticed with you is like when you are asking questions from a place of curiosity, like it's very natural. You have like these fluctuations in your tone, but then the part where your script you're reading it off because again you haven't had it memorized. That part you can totally tell, and there's like the emotions kind of taken out of it a little bit. So,
okay. Yeah,
uh,
I had a few calls where somebody, said in the very beginning it sound robotic, and I tried to keep going. He hung up on me. Yeah, I called him back like twice and sent him a text. That's when I knew I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get better at that. So, but
promise
he's, sometimes they say they be getting a bunch of calls like that, which I get. If they've been in business for a long time, you get a bunch of spam calls from marketers. So.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. What else? Anything else you want to talk about?
So I can pretty much like you said, just get started making a Facebook page, making the Instagram, um, building out the funnel and everything like that. And just run some ads and get ready to pass them over to the first one and keep hooking people. So
Yep. Keith, do you have experience with Google Ads or just Google SEO?
Both.
Are you good at Google Ads? Or are you okay?
Yeah. I do it for a couple of clients, but I don't do a lot of management. Like they're cheap. Like my the amount that I charge is not a lot based on what they spend. So it's just kind of like I have a person too that kind of helps me. So, but I mean, Google ads are expensive as hell, dude. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like the per click cost for Google ads like blows Facebook and social like out of the water. But the intent is different though too,
Exactly.
right?
There's this
So,
video I thought was really cool, guys. This video, Watch Me Fix a Stranger's Business. And
Do you want more customers from your ads cheaper? Do you want to make 15 to 20% more profit from your ads?
If you doubled revenue,
Yeah, I like this one too.
You watch this one?
Yeah, it's the
So
chiropractor.
dude, his ROAS is insane for Google versus Facebook ads.
Really?
His Google ads was like freaking.
I think his like worst one was like a 12. No, it
Yeah.
was a 9. It was a 9. Yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah, so Google ads is like a 9 is a worst, highest like 24 versus Facebook ads was like a you know, traditional like 2x. His best one was 8x. And so what they're doing is they're actually just changing up the ad, the machine, the offer, everything. So I bring this up because I do think that adding in for this hook method to work and at the best level, we are gonna delve into, I think it is necessary that we all delve into Google SEO and Google Ads as well. So I do think like intent is much higher. So here's what I would say, Keith, is like intent is much higher and you can be very simple with it. It's like, hey, do you want the damn thing or not? Versus Facebook, you got to do like these bait and switches, which is like, hey, get a free video, 6-week free challenge. And there's like a bait and hook. There's something there in order to make these things really work. That's
Yeah,
the difference. I
there's
think a lot of people that are not successful with Facebook ads, they use the Google ads mentality of like, hey, let me just have this free estimate, free quote. And it just doesn't work. You have to have a complete different mechanism, have upsells, downsells, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I say that, Keith and Righteous, because we're gonna probably get in a place where we'll start like looking at. So if I was you, Righteous, maybe if I were you, I don't know, Keith, if you want to make a recommendation inside of the free to fee and be like, hey guys, check this out for Google Ads, Google SEO, we can start looking into that. We can all start to get caught up to speed and learn a little bit about that. But that's something I would be doing if I were you, Righteous, is like, not right now. It's not super important. It's like super far down the road, but it's like learning how do I take a page within a particular location, rank that. Because I know that's something that Drew does. Drew kind of figures out, this is an SEO thing, Keith, you probably know about this, but like he figures out a location where there's like not a lot of saturation or there is a saturation and then he goes after that. It's not random of like where he gets the business owners. So that's an important element of it as well.
Sure.
Anyways, I'll just kind of leave it at that. That's something, again, just kind of plant those seeds for you Righteous and everybody else that's interested in the hook model. But yeah, what else is top of mind for you, Righteous?
Um, I don't really have anything at the moment. I think you clarified everything, made it simple. So you dropped a video in Slack, you said, from Aiden?
I dropped it I believe I sent it to you.
Okay. I see it now. I see that. So give those two videos a watch, check those out, and then just get everything up and running for the free to feed for my first client. So
And have you spoken to him today? That guy, the one you hooked?
I sent him the recap this morning, but I haven't spoken to him. So that's
Okay.
probably what I should really be doing is keeping him warm and letting him know what's going on my end. I'll probably just tell him I'm nurturing leads or something.
Yeah, just say something to make sure that he's preparing. Be like, what did you say? So you sent him a recap of the conversation? Is that what did you send him?
So, and I pretty much took what I think Cam has, like a recap email that he sends out. I
Yep.
just tweaked it to mine and just kind of sent that over to him.
Okay. Do you know if you open up the email or you don't know?
I don't think he viewed the email. I didn't get an alert. 'Cause usually Go High Level will let you know
Okay.
some form of way.
So you can use it as leverage, right? So you can reach out to him like, hey, so and so, did you get a chance to open up the email? Just wanted to make sure that you went through that and you're clear on things before I send these leads over your way. So what that's going to do is going to pique his interest. He's going to start going there, and now all of a sudden you have the leverage.
Okay. Yep. So keep him warm. But yes, I don't have anything else right now. I'll just have to get the first steps done. Because the Google side is interesting as well. So, but I know that's further down the road. So don't get too caught up on it.
Cool. All right then. Everything sounds good to me, man. Everything sounds healthy. Good to me. Oh, one thing I do want you to do, right, just is this actually.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. It's not super. I mean, I think you should just do it just to do it. But if you scroll down here, it says watch this after you close your first deal. We're taking a little bit of a detour, but I do think it's important that you watch this so you understand what people experience and see after typically closing from that 6 figure 6 weeks, right? There is important information there.
Okay. Will
And so
do.
I was explaining this to Keith the other day. I mean, like, yeah, yesterday it was like 6 figure 6 weeks, and then from there we niche down, and then from there we typically are building an ad system to close deals, right? So if you say, hey, I want to do painters, I'm typically going to go into Slack. I'm going to help you build a client acquisition funnel using ads. But now what we're doing is we're taking this detour and we're doing this free to fee method. So we're doing like a detour. So like whatever I'm doing with you, Keith, like me, Mason's been here with me for years, and we have like this is our first time like taking a detour, such a drastic detour with you guys. So I do want you to give this a watch so you can kind of get an idea of what is typically happening.
Okay.
I think that'll be good. I might even send you a video just to make sure again, because I just want to make sure you're clear on the journey overall. Cool. All right, then. I think that's everything. Anything before I move on to Ryan, Righteous?
Nope, that's everything. Appreciate it.
Cool. Yep. Mr. Ryan, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm just having to re-edit Jess's video.
Hmm.
So I was just going to upload it and went to go in the ad. This is making the ad. And because it's vertical and these are Instagram ads, fucking didn't want to fit properly. So I'm just going back in now and yeah, readjusting the sizes.
Cool.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's horizontal or that is
Nah, well,
horizontal?
she filmed it vertical from the phone.
Okay. Mason, are your ads vertical or
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Do you mean like, well, what are your placements?
They're literally what you were saying. Oh, fuck,
So it should just be what? Reels and feed, right?
stories and reels and Instagram feed.
Okay, so the only one,
It's the Instagram feed, I think, that's just the issue.
yeah, so you should be able to edit that right on Facebook, depending on where your text is on the screen. No, yeah. There's nothing you can do about that. You just kind of have to re-upload it and just move it up or whatever. Yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. So I've had to do that before, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. That's what we're having to do, unfortunately. That's all right. Fuck it.
But
It's fine.
what questions do you have any questions for us or?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get lost on the primary tip or the tip.
You feel like you're gonna get lost in the primary text?
The
copy?
copy. Yeah,
Got it.
copy.
Mason, you just want to copy and paste over what you guys have, and I'll just
Yeah, if you want, I can just give you what I have, Ryan, and then you can just copy and paste it and just throw it in there.
Yeah, fuck me. That makes life easy. I was just on a phone call to Heidi just to get her, so I just had to run through her bloody Facebook and get her Meta hooked up properly, get her ad account made and everything. She's doing it all from her own card and her own account. And I've sent her through everything to do. So hopefully she starts cracking into it. And basically just like gave her a rundown of our last conversations about her, about, how much it's going to cost if we try and pay for people to go to these programs as opposed to just paying for follower ads and getting them to go organic, like organic sales. So she's like, fuck it, I just want a following, just to build a following. She wants to like have an app with big numbers, as far as like big follower numbers, to have an app that she can sell cheap. So she just wants to play the volume game eventually.
Cool.
So that's all moving fine. But yeah, just trying to get this ad going. So I just basically need to readjust this, get that copy and get this ad running. And then I'll actually have something new to tell you guys. Finally.
Okay. Is that the only thing that's top of mind for you right now? Is that like the
Yeah.
only? Okay. So everything else is good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
everything else is Yeah.
Did you turn off your client acquisition funnel ads for your trial? Okay. Um, what's what's kind of the game plan right now for you? Is like just keep them off for the time being, turn them back
Yeah.
on, while balance.
Just so my plan of action right now is getting at Jess particularly because she's so far the first person I need to get across the line. Um, as her ad's running and I can see how it's working and I can start working with her on her scripts, I can then just like copy and paste it with everyone else. So it gives me because it gives me a little bit of experience in this that I get a better understanding. So then when it comes to returning all my shit back on, I can forefront it
Yeah, yeah.
because
I,
again I'm trying to figure out where all my bottlenecks are
yeah,
and just smooth the shit out of them. So then I can just go, here's your
fair.
fucking package. Here's 2 weeks. Do it, and then we'll go down the other route. So
Cool. Sounds good. I love it. I like the idea of that is like when we work through these initial first people, you're gonna learn all the bottlenecks that you didn't even see or you didn't even know you'd have bottlenecks, and you're like, I gotta create a system for this. So I love the
yeah,
idea of that. Um, one thing that's cool, man, is like I know I added you to like the free to fee stuff that we're doing, and I
yeah.
think it's applicable to you, maybe. And so
I do need to jump in and go through that. I haven't had a chance yet. Like, yeah,
yeah. So the way that they're doing it, like I guess like what do you know about it or like do you not know anything about it at all?
nothing. I missed this. I missed this session that you would have talked about it, and I saw you added me, and I was like, cool. I got to come back to this. I got to look at that. And I've still just been chasing my tail up with these guys to then go back and kind of just go through everything, go through your scripts, and see what everyone's doing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like I think what you're doing is fantastic. I think it's the right thing to do. The reason I want to kind of bring you in on that is like maybe there's some inspiration there for you because what the guys are doing this, I'll kind of give you the quick rundown. Again, if you want to watch the video, you can. Step one is basically they just find so again, step one, you gotta have the niche, whatever niche you want to do. Let's just say you want to do concrete. You create concrete, like you do concrete for people. Step two is you just go into a location and you just find business owners that do that. So you go to Google Maps, type in concrete, it's gonna give you a bunch of people in a particular location. So after that, step three is you just text them. You say, hey, I'm looking for some concrete. Um, are you guys available? And so let's say you blast that out to like 10 business owners in a location. What's going to happen is you're going to have a certain number of people that reach out to you and they say, yeah, we do concrete. And they're going to try to get you on a call. Then from there, this is where you have like really Drew's call. I've come in here into the organic stuff and you can really watch Drew's call. He'll call one, two, three, four. If you come into, if we come into the free to fee stuff, if you come into the pin section, you scroll down, you'll see that we already have like these scripts. So what the guys did like Cam is they just like took their calls and just wrote a script down. I'm sorry, that's the wrong script. The right script is gonna be
What do you mean? You write down the script that they used.
so
That's what
so
you're saying.
what so this is Cam.
What you're saying is if my niche is concrete, I'm calling concrete people to say I need concrete. I'm getting them to call me, and then I'm basically it's like research of like what their script is they're talking to me about the shit that they need to know, or information they need.
So I got that. So that's my fault. So you got everything right up until the concrete business owners contacts you, right? So concrete business owner contacts you, Ryan. You're hopping on a call to have a conversation with the concrete business owner, right? Now the question becomes, what do you need to say? So this is the script. I'm sorry, I keep pulling up the wrong darn thing. Here's the script. So hook script, right? So basically what we do is this is pretty much it. So basically it's kind of like a bait and switch. Like, hey, how long have you been in business? What are you doing? Cool. Here's the deal. I got some leads. They're entirely free. I got a website with the leads come on. I'd like to give them to somebody. Would you like them? It's a 3-day trial. I'll give it to you for free. After that, I charge $2,000 a month. For you,
Just back up there a second. So you've got in touch with the concrete people saying, I need concrete.
Mhm.
They've called and now
They
they're like,
think
oh, so how much concrete do you need? And then you flip the script and now you're actually being like, oh, actually, I've got concrete leads for you.
Yes.
It's just a way to get in contact with them.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like a different way to get to the same position you've gotten to. So they're doing a different mechanism, but ultimately it's this free trial thing, right? And so this is why I think at this part, this is why some of this is valuable because if you listen to these calls where Drew does 1, 2, 3, 4, if you come in here, Cam had a few hook calls. He hooked all three of these people. Right just did one. He hooked this person. So like it's working fantastic. So you know what you're doing in terms of like hooking people to do a trial, they're doing as well, and it's super simple. It's just a different way. And then from there, the kind of some of the sauce here is that they're saying things like, "Hey, it's $2,000 a month to work with me. For you, for the first month, it would be $1,000, but not only $1,000, you can do week to week $250 a week. You can this way you can cancel whenever you want. This we're taking baby steps." And so they say yeah to that, and then from there, they launch the ads. They hand the ads off. So they actually do a live trial. So let's say you're the concrete business owner in this case, Ryan. I'm
Yep.
gonna get a lead and then I'm gonna call you, Ryan, and I'm gonna do a three-way. Like, hey, so I'm gonna pass you on to my boss, Ryan, now. Ryan's gonna talk to you. And then from there, Ryan, you take it and you work the lead and all that stuff. And I just sit on the line, I'm listening to you because I want to see if you can close or not. And then that's day one, day two, three, I'm not really doing anything else. And then day three, I'm hopping on a quick call, 20-minute call and closing you. That's what Drew's doing. And that's what took Drew to 44,000 a month. That's literally all he's doing. So I just want to share that with you because you're kind of sort of doing a free to fee method as well. And this way you can kind of like see what's working for him.
Where's he getting those clients from and initially to pass them on?
I'm sorry, one more time.
So you're saying he's got a client here, he's passing them on to Mr. Concrete Man. Where is he
Okay.
getting that initial client from first?
Yeah. So let's say you're the concrete business owner, it's me, right? I'm trying to hook you as an agency owner. So after I talk to you and I say, hey, I got these leads, you want some free leads, Ryan? You're gonna say, obviously, yeah. I'm gonna say, all right, cool, I'm gonna hook these people for you. After I hang up with you, then I'm gonna run ads in your location to get some leads for concrete in your location. Then I'm gonna boom.
Okay. Okay.
It's kind of what you're doing. It's kind of similar to what you're doing.
Similar. So you're putting a bit of investment into ads into that location. Basically, you're running ads off your account rather than going to them and being like, "Hey, I'll run ads for you."
Yeah,
I'll just run some ads. I've got some leads. Here you go. I can keep giving you more. Just pay me this.
exactly.
So you're eliminating all that fuck around at the start, and you are the free trial without them. They're just reaping the rewards at the end of it. How
The
can I do that for PTs?
It's possible. So the variables are the difference here is one, you're using paid ads to do your trial, right? You're like, hey, if you're a personal trial, run ads for you, right? And what they're doing a different way. They're not using paid ads. They're just calling, right? So it's free, right? That's a difference. So you're spending maybe, I don't know how much you're spending to get a trial. What is your cost per trial? Do you know?
Uh, what do we got? We got to
You got
six
like four,
trial.
six trial.
There was- I think it ended up being like $60 a person.
Oh, that's like cheap then. That's like nothing. Okay.
It wasn't a hell of a lot in the
Is
end.
that 60 USD or is that 60 New Zealand dollars?
That'd be $60.
Okay, yeah. So what Drew's doing and what these guys are doing is they're spending about $100 of their own money to run the ads.
Yeah.
In your case, let's say it costs you 60 bucks, but then they pay you $500, and of that $500 you keep 60. Like it's the same shit. So it's fine. Um, does that make sense? Like what I'm getting at?
Yeah, it
So
does. It does make sense. I was just trying to figure out in my shoes if it could be a solution to my fuck around problem, that bottleneck problem I have
one,
getting
which
the
one,
people to make the ads.
which one's your bottleneck problem? What's your bottleneck problem?
So my bottleneck problem is once I got them signed up, is to actually get them a uniformed ad that they can just keep running, that I can just pass to them and say, here's your ad, this is what we're running.
I see.
But it's the
I
same. It's essentially it's the same thing as if I was to run the ad myself. So if I go make the ad myself, video myself, make the ad, and I just hand it to them exactly the same as you did to us, that's the exact same process as if I run the ad myself, grab some potential clients, and just palm them off to the PTs and say, "I've got 3 clients for you. You want more? This is how we're going to do it." Or it's I run my ad, get the PT, hook them, say, "Here you go. We're running this through your account." Then get them. It's
I see what you're getting at. What I'm doing with them would not solve that problem for you specifically. You guys have different problems. What they
yeah,
do is this. Let's say again, you're roofing, or let's say you're a concrete business owner. The moment you say yes to me, I'm just launching ads. And the way I haven't shared that with you, it's like it's a very simple ad to simple landing page, and that's it. And so I don't have to ask you for permission. I don't have to ask you for anything because you're already stoked for that you're gonna get free leads from me. So you have no quarrels, you have no questions. It's like, how dare you even ask me for anything? It's like I'm offering you free leads. You got nothing to pay for, you got nothing, there's no skin in the game. So you don't care what I do, you just care about the leads as a concrete business owner, right? And it just works because it's an ad that goes to a funnel. In your case, when it comes to Jess, and you're gonna see this, the people have to go inside of her DMs, right? So you can't run your face and run your ad as a guy
yeah,
to get people in
yeah.
her DM, right? It's not going to work. So you have to, whatever we're working on, the systems and process that we're working on, we have to work through that no matter what for personal training. That's just part of the niche. The benefit I see, again, I'm saying just check their stuff out if you have free time. What I like about what they're doing is, again, I'm just like seeing these hook calls. I'm seeing it super easy. I'm seeing it's like 200, it's like very simple to close the deal. The problem that I see when it comes to like what you're doing is the sales process. It's like harder, but again, you're naturally like pretty good at sales. What I would see is I would see people like, for example, Mason, I would see him do some trials, and then it was like pulling teeth trying to convert that into a sale. So he would do the trial, and then for him to sell them into a 5K coaching program afterwards was very difficult. Versus what I'm seeing with Drew's method, with this free to fee method, is like he does the leads, he gives them over for free, and then within 3 days, he's on a quick 20-minute call and they close the deal. That's the difference that I'm seeing. That's kind of why I'm suggesting you check it out. Maybe there's some inspiration there for you. And I think the reason it works for Drew, and here's why. So this is some of the secret sauce, right? So on the discovery call, so on my initial call with you, you're the concrete business owner, and I do the bait and switch. Here's how Drew positions. He's like, hey, so I got this website. I get leads on it. I got to give leads to somebody. I look for one business owner in a particular location. I could give them to you. Now, here's the deal. I'm happy to do this for you for 3 days for free if you can commit to this. What I do is I charge $2,000 a month. For you, for the first month, it would be $1,000 a month instead of 2,000, and we can do week to week. It would be $250 a week. How's that sound if I can get you some initial results? You say, yeah, boom. And then I get your results for 3 days, and then I hop on a call with you. Hey, man, so that's it? You want to rock and roll or what? So why am I saying this? The reason I'm saying this is maybe you can take some inspiration of that and put that into your discovery calls, into your sales process. That's why I'm ultimately sharing this.
Yeah.
Because right now what you're experiencing is the bottleneck and the systems and stuff we have to build to get people a trial. But the next bottleneck you will be fronted with, and I'm telling you right now, you just haven't experienced it yet, is trying to convert them from the trial to the close. You're going to run into some issues, I promise you. So what I'm trying to do is I'm kind of foreseeing that. I'm sharing the sauce with you so that you can start thinking about that, implementing that on your sales process. That's why I'm ultimately sharing this with you.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying there, me. Okay.
So I think moving forward, a potential could be, again, we turn on your ads, hop on these calls, you get right to it. Like, yo, here's the deal, man. I'm going to give you some trial leads. It's a 3-day thing. I'm happy to do that, but let me know if this is a good fit. I'm going to be straight up with you. My offer is $2,000 a month. For the first month, $1,000 is $250 a week. Right? Like kind of like take inspiration from what they're currently doing instead of doing what you're doing. Because right now, your guys don't know you have a $5,000 thing to sell. And trust me, it's going to be like a deer in a headlight when you try to get to the 5,000 thing. Versus if you do it this way, this work again. One of the things I talked to Drew about was like he was like saying he's like, dude, I was doing these trials and then I was trying to convert them. It was a pain in the ass. But when I went over price first, I was able to convert way better. So that's why I think that might work for you as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
A lot to
So
think. Yeah.
one of the things that just springs to mind, one of the potential hiccups that might come across with PTs is they don't charge very much per week or per client, and they struggle to get out of this weekly mindset to get into a monthly mindset. It's kind of been the same story with everyone I've talked to. Every PT that I got is they're only charging maybe $50 a week, or maybe like some of them are like $60 a week or something, and I'm like, it's not enough. Heidi, I was trying to say that I was on the phone call to before. I was like, it's not enough. One, we need to get you to do at least a month minimum per fee, because she's like, yeah, some people charge them for a couple of weeks and then it just the account is trying to recharge and it just cancels out and it's not happening. And I was like, yeah, well, we need to get you onto like a monthly thing, 3 months, so at least it covers your sign on, it covers a bit of your program, and then it covers that little bit of chasing up or that cancellation type fuck around that you have at this end. And she's like, yeah, but a lot of them don't have money up front. So I said, oh, look, she then expressed, she's like, it's not a big stress for me at the moment. I'm not worried about it at the moment, because I just want to focus on getting myself as a brand and build my brand up and build up my following. She's like, I'm not stressed about it. I was like, sweet, that's fine. But we're going to come back to this because I need you to be able to make money from them to be able to cover the cost of your ads, your follower ads, because they have to balance each other out. Because there's no point in you just pulling it out of your pocket and throwing it into follower ads, because you're going to run out of money. So I said, we have to balance it out. And eventually, once you get enough followers, then you'll start to be able to pocket some of that cash from organic sales. And she's like, okay, yeah, okay, makes sense. So I said, look, we're going to double back on this and we're going to come back to this. We're going to go through it. But basically, I need to figure out how to, one, get her to charge a bit more, two, to quality check the client, maybe some of the clients that sign up to her programs, or some of that fucking around, maybe.
One sec. Mason, are you listening to all this?
I'm listening to all this, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I'm listening, Ryan, but Mason's got the answer. He knows exactly what he's. Yeah. So Mason, for you.
And I think just ways of, yeah, there's the quality check, and there was the actual cost and getting them to pay monthly upfront, and then maybe look at like some real easy like sign on program. So it's like, hey, look, I need you to pay this month. This is, I need a 3 month upfront or 6 months upfront, but use these guys, use fucking Afterpay, or one of those financing ways. You only have to pay them weekly. But what it means is that if they default with those guys, it doesn't matter for Heidi, she's already paid. And those guys then chase up these people. And then she's like separated and got her money, got her 6 months, whatever. It doesn't matter if they don't fucking pay. Whereas if this way, she's kind of chasing them up. So there's that aspect to it. The other aspect was, and I mentioned this, she has a 36 week program for that building like a show ready ass. And I said, cool, grab the first 6 weeks of that, copy, paste, put it over here, called it what did I say? A Bunda Blaster teaser or something like that, or your like an initial builder, like a test 6 weeks. And we're going to get people onto that through some organic posts. And then once they get to between 4 and 5 weeks, where they start seeing some results and feeling really fucking good about themselves, we're then going to sell them onto this program here, which is the 36 weeks long, rather than just trying to get them straight onto this thing. And I said to her, instead of doing it just weekly, we're going to do a one-off payment for that. And then we're going to do like a one-off payment for this fucker right here, rather than doing weekly. And she was like, okay, that's fine. So that was my way of getting her out of that weekly cycle bullshit that's going on.
So I like everything you said, except for the stepping up from one program to another. I don't think that's going to work.
You don't?
No, because people buy in the place where where they are the hungriest, and people buy from the place of the hungriest, right? So if like they're really hurting or something, they're going to buy from you, but not if they like already progressed or something like that. Just psychologically, it's just not going to happen. The time that does work is when you have a financial offer. So let's say you have like a 20K offer. You do a low ticket thing, 5-day challenge, make them 10K up front. So now they can put a deposit down for your 20K thing. The other thing is just the sales cycle. The sales cycle of trying to get them to do this thing, stay motivated, stay disciplined, and then you sell your higher ticket thing. It's much easier to just go in there and just sell the high ticket thing, especially for this kind of an offer. Again, like low ticket to high ticket stuff works, but it's only when it's financial. It's not when it's like getting some, taking somebody getting a 6-pack and then you try to sell them on an 8-pack. It's not going to happen. So yeah, that would be my only pushback. But aside from that, like the rest of it, Affirm, all that stuff I agree with, and Mason's going to be the Yoda to tell you all that stuff. But you have a question, it sounds like.
I guess the reason I say 6 weeks is you're only going to start to see some results, some benefit after 4 weeks physically. You'll start to see it. So, and if the program's only 6 weeks long, and they're kind of going to be, they're going to have a shot of
If you do a 6-week thing,
like dopamine and shit, but they're not going to get anything. Once they get to that 6 weeks, they're going to be like, well, I've made a little bit of progress. How do I make more? It's like it's like a teaser. It's equivalent to a teaser.
if you do the 6-week thing, what I would do and what does work is if you do the 6-week thing, it's a low ticket price, and then somebody calls them, has a conversation, upsells them to the high ticket thing. That's how you do it.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, that would work. But like, here's what I heard from you is you get them to pay for the 6-week thing, and then they actually start the program, and then you try to upsell. That's not going to work. It's the moment they buy it within day 1, 2, 3, and then you upsell them. You can't let them actually go through the program. Trust me.
Thank you.
So 2 ways. So low ticket to high ticket works if you have financial things, and the purpose of it is get somebody to spend $47, high ticket, make them some money, they can afford the high ticket thing. In your case, if it's not like a money driven thing, get them to buy it because it's a tripwire offer, and then you sell them to buy the high ticket thing. But it's never a thing of like buy the low ticket thing, get some results, and then they buy the high ticket thing. The conversion rate is so small, it's so minuscule, it barely ever happens on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's for the future. Again, maybe it's not even of interest to Heidi because she's focused on other things. But yeah, in terms of like price points, all that stuff, I guess like can you articulate your questions and then Mason's gonna answer them for you because Mason's already figured it out with Lauren. Like price point, Affirm, all that stuff. Like he's already kind of figured out. If you want to ask a question, he already has the answers for you.
Well then
What the price point should be, what the package, the offer should be. Like if you like Mason can just like tell you what they charge, I think. If
yeah,
that's what
I already asked Mason about like what the charge rate is over in the States, and he said,
Okay.
well, he's saying it's anything between $300 and $400 a month.
So, like, what I just learned that works well for us is our front end offer is actually like $600 a month. And then generally on that front end offer, we were originally selling like a 6-month package for $3,000. But now what we're doing is we're selling a 4-month package for $2,400. And the way that works out is we're actually getting paid more per month, and it's not necessarily what.
Sorry, what was it before and what is it now?
So what we did before is we were selling a 6-month package for $3,000. That's what we were doing. Now what we've transitioned to is we're selling a 4-month package for $2,400, which works out to be $600 per month as opposed to $500. And actually, let me take a step back here. My pay in full price for my 4-month program is $2,400. If they decide to do a payment plan, it's actually $2,700. Okay, so I decided to do that because I wanted to make them a good back end offer. And the way that it works out is like, actually, let me take a step back here because this is super important. That something that you said that made me catch my tongue. When your clients say like, oh, my prospects don't have money, like that's not the case. Like it's so not the case. They're just fucking saying that. And it's in the mindset of like, they're just charging weekly anyway, which is just fucking stupid. Don't ever charge weekly. It's dumb. Go ahead.
I dived into that with her. I said the whole
Yeah.
reason why you think that they won't have sales is because there'll be something in your sales process that's making them think that, and what you're allowing it to be. I said like there's a big, it's the same. Like there's a big stipulation that PTs don't need to charge much here in New Zealand and Australia equally. They just don't. They
Yeah.
undercharge like crazy, and it's like the stigma that they have, and they just can't seem to break it. So I said there's something in your sales process that we need to come to and adjust to be able to get them to, one, pay in lump, and two, make that way more expensive.
Yeah. So something that Kushik said that I don't necessarily agree with, but he does have a point, is pitching the offer of like on the back end where it makes the most sense. So there's two points where it's like when someone's in the most pain, where they have like their mountaintop moment where they actually start seeing results in that whatever month time period, right? What I would recommend, by the way, if you're going to do a front end offer, don't do 6 weeks. Do somewhere between 3 to 4 months. Don't do anything less. 3 to 4 months. That's your front end offer. Don't do a 6 week. Don't do a 3 week. Don't do a 4 week. Don't do anything along the lines of that. So that's what I would do. And then I would have a price where it's like, let's say it's a 3 month package of, I don't know, let's say $1,200, right? So they're paying $400 per month, or they can pay it in full for $1,000, let's say. Right. So the way that I work the numbers out to make it a no-brainer is what I'll do is I'll wait for about, let's say you're doing a 3 month program. So it's about 12 weeks. Around the 8th week is when we'll pitch our back end offer, which is essentially, we kind of go over and recap exactly what they're doing. But then the way that we pitch is like, hey, a lot of people, what they do is they get such good progress and they fall off. We don't want this to be another thing. Like it's like Weight Watchers, blah, blah, blah. And what we want to do is reward you for doing what you're doing. We want to continuously coach you, and we're going to give you X, Y, and Z. We're going to give you a way discounted rate to make sure that you actually achieve your goal. Because a lot of people that they come to us, they're not just trying to lose 6 pounds, right? They're trying to lose 30, 40. And it's like within that 3 month, 4 month time period, they only lose like, let's say 10 to 15 pounds. So it's like, hey, you have 25 more to go. And the way that we position the offer is like, hey, look, what we want to do is we want to work with you for the rest of the year. We'll guarantee that you lose the 25 pounds. If you don't, we'll continue working with you for free. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut our rate completely in half. So for example, if they were paying $400 a month on the front end for 3 months, it would be $1,200. And then we do $200 a month times 12, which is $2,400. So for basically, for acquiring that one client, you're taking $1,200 plus the $2,400 from the year, and you're making $3,600 per client.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Cool. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mason, why did you go from 3K for 6 months down to 4 months for 2,400?
Yeah. So the reason we did that is because we're just trying to find like better clients that are going to be more willing to pay like that upfront fee, and then having basically every single one of our clients we're trying to have 30 to 40% of all of our clients that we sign on now convert to our back end offer. And if we're able to do that.
Wait, so are you saying, so for the 6 month is 3K, for the 4 month is 2,400. So if I'm understanding correctly, we have people that are signing up for the 6 month 3K, but a lot of it's payment plans. However, if we move down to the 4 month 2,400, we feel like we're gonna get more paid in fulls. Am I understanding that correctly? Or no? Is the goal to collect more cash or no? It's not.
Yeah. So good question. So yeah, it is. Absolutely it is, but it's more on like getting the back end conversion. It's all about getting the back end conversion. And that's how we can make like
so moving from 6 months to 4 months, the primary move is not collecting the most amount of cash. It's not increasing conversion rate of sales on the front end. You're thinking back end. The reason you're making that move is for the back end.
Yeah, because from the data that I've seen, over 50% of people go for that back end offer. And if that's the case, if I can sign them for 2,400 and my back end offer is $3,000 to $4,000, then I'm collecting $6,000 per client that I sign. And if my conversion rate's 50%, if I just sign, let's say 6 clients a month, then it would be $2,400 times 6, which is however much amount, but then half of those turn into 6K.
What's the difference between somebody doing a 6 month for 3K on the front end versus somebody doing 2,400 on the front end for 4 months? Like, wouldn't are you saying that the conversion rate would not be 50% if you do 3K for 6 months?
Well, I mean, the conversion rate could drop, but the another thing to mention is like because we're offering a year on the back end, like what we're trying to do later on as well as trying to add an assistant coach. And basically what we're going to do with the back end offer is try to have a pay in full option. So it makes it a way more of a no-brainer so we can collect more cash if we wanted to on the back end as well. So it's like if we're charging $600 up front, it makes it a lot easier for us to say, hey, look, we'll do it at half the rate for an entire year. Which is if I think about it now, it's 3,600. So each one of my clients would be worth $6,000. As opposed to collecting 3K and then having a really hard time because after we've had them for 6 months, like generally speaking, they get their first noticeable win maybe around week like 6 to 7, maybe 8 by the latest, but then that's actually when we pitch it. That's actually when we pitch like the back end offer.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I do agree with that. And like for fitness, like I mean, there's the moment of highest depravity, there's a moment of wins. And in your particular case, I would say like people are not going to continue if they are not seeing some kind of result and they're not motivated. So it's for sure different.
I can't say like data driven specifically that our conversion rate is higher from charging $2,400 as opposed to 6 months for 2,700 because that's what our pay in full price is. So I can't say necessarily that is 100% confirmed, but from the way that it has looked right now so far for us, it has been the case where we essentially have created a low ticket offer. It's like $500 for the people that don't really have the cash, but it literally requires like no client fulfillment. So it's like the people that we think we can qualify or get them on a payment plan, it's a lot easier to get them more manageable payments where it's just like, we can work with them where it's only like $200, $300 a month on the front end if we need to. We can use a firm, which is perfectly fine. But then those people are, again, it gives us a good indicator of like who's going to be really sellable on the back end as well. Because some people, if they go through the $3,000, they're like, oh shit, like this is $500 per month. That's too much for me. But it's like if we can get them to really break it down into payments where they can do it, they're way more willing to go for the back end offer.
Ryan, does this kind of like what Mason said, does that help answer your questions, or did you have more regarding like pricing and a firm and all that stuff?
It gives me something to go off when I do talk to these PTs about what their programs are, how long they are, and what their pricing is. Definitely.
This is like something you have to understand this as well too. Like, although you're like what you're saying is correct in terms of like, yeah, they need to charge more. But if you're running the trial in like, I think it's super fucking important that they get a win. And if that is lowering the price of their program or like letting them think that what they can charge what they're worth and then be happy about it is actually really beneficial to you because if they're comfortable closing at that price, they're going to be more confident on the sales call, asking how much they were. And you don't have to coach them up on that yet. It's just kind of like, hey, how much are you going to charge for it? And if it's not like, let's just say $200 bare minimum, like then you can kind of say, hey, look, let's just charge at least $200 a minimum, right? Because if they can get a win, it's like, yo, dude, like I can show you a method in a way where we can actually make payments on this where it's going to be exactly the same for them and it's going to be more affordable, but you're going to be able to get more up front as opposed to collecting month after month. But again, that's what you're going to show them in the coaching program as well. So it's like, if they know your coaching program is, let's say like $4,000 and they can collect 1,000 in like 7 to 14 days, they're going to be like, holy shit, I just got a win. Now I'm more willing to actually do that as opposed to saying, hey, look, you need to charge $400 per month. Now they're nervous about even pitching it into a program. Then they can't close. And they're like, fuck you, Ryan, I don't have $4,000. But if they can close a $1,000 deal, they're like, oh shit, like this makes sense now, right? There's like a fine line of like coaching them up, but also being able to get them that quick win. It's like, do you want the person that needs to lose 60 pounds, do you want them to lose 10 pounds immediately, or do you want to put them through all the hard work to make them lose, just 5? It's like give them that quick win first.
Hold that thought, okay? So what Mason said, just hold that, okay? Hold that. And I do think what he's saying is very important. And that's like the tricky part of this funnel. The tricky part about this funnel, this trial, and that's where Mason has ran some issues, is like you're doing some trials, you're getting some leads, and then you go on, you pitch your $5,000 thing, and they're like, fuck you, like Mason says. And it's like, if you don't make somebody enough money, then it's like hard for them to justify the 5K. And I ran into the same issue the way I was doing my calls as well, right? So hold that, put that all right here. Now, what I want you to do also is this is why I shared with you what I shared with you earlier about the hook strategy, which now you're kind of taking all the pressure off. Because with the hook strategy, what you're doing is you're hopping on and say, hey, dude, look, I'm going to get you a trial. It's only 3 days long, and I'm going to get you about 10 leads. And if you close one, great. Hopefully you close one. But I just want you to see how the process works. That being said, let me know if this is fair for you. Here's how I do my thing. It's $2,000 a month. Da, 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 da. So what you're doing, it's a completely different dynamic. And this dynamic, you're doing what you're doing. You got to get them results. You're sweating bullets, and then you're trying to convert that. Versus here, you're like, hey, dude, this is just a trial. Maybe you close, maybe you don't. Hopefully you do. Here's the deal. Here's what I charge. Would this be an issue for you? Does that make sense? It's a completely different sales process on that discovery call. And so in this case, they're happy just to get the lead. They're happy just to have the sales call. And they're like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give it a shot. And then also your position is $250 a week, not $4,000. Here, your position is like $5,000 at the end. Here, your position at $250 a week. Does that make sense? It's a big difference in terms of how you sell. So a lot to be thinking about, man. What's brewing in your head? I will tell you, this is hard as fuck. Like what me and Mason are doing is hard as fuck. It's hard, but you're also good at sales, so
Yeah, their side of it.
there's like a lot of jump.
I understand what Mason's saying, and it's probably good for him to say that. I think I needed to hear that because my mindset was often going from what you've previously said, Kashik, which is I need to make them think that they can make enough money to then be able to pay me. And that's come up in conversations when I've had some of these calls, and it's like, well, look, I need to get you to up this price because by the end of this, I need you to be able to pay me long so we can carry on working together. But then again, that puts stress and pressure on them and makes them be like, oh, maybe I can't do this, or maybe I'm not comfortable selling that much. We haven't, I have to now compete with all these other people who are selling them substantially cheaper. When Mason's going on the emotional side of it, there is a fine balance there. And I think I got a funny feeling it's going to come down to the type of person that person is, whether they want to run with straight up making it more expensive and going full tit, or being safe, getting comfortable. I think new people need to be safe and get comfortable. If they're new to the online, they need to do it cheaply and get recurring. I think if they've been in there for a while, they should be able to be able to up their prices.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be case by case. But
what are you going to do when it comes to the training? Because that's not going to be another bottleneck that you're going to run into. Is like right now the bottleneck you're running into is just like launching the ads for them. But the next bottleneck, actually, the bottleneck I talked about is the sales. But honestly, the bottleneck before that is going to be sales training. You're going to run into that bottleneck of how do I get these people trained up so that they can handle the leads, so that they can handle the sales calls. And so, yeah, what we're talking about right now is, do you train them on closing $3,000 packages, or do you close them on charging $50 a week? Yeah. So, but that's all on this side, right? That's all on this side, and assuming you're going to try to close a $5,000 deal. And I think you just have to experiment. I think that it's hard as fuck to try to, like what Mason has done with Lauren. I mean, dude, it wasn't overnight, right? Like it took Mason a long time, Mason and Lauren a long time to close these $2,000-$3,000 packages. I don't think it happened overnight. So for you to try to take somebody on a trial and try to get them to close it, I think that would be pretty difficult. It's like if you come across a stud, maybe. And stud, plus you gotta give him training, all the stuff. So I think I'm planning subconscious. I was planting the seed here of all the $250 a week and all the stuff I shared with you today, because I think I knew subconscious is gonna be really hard for you to train people on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear what you're
So it's
saying.
like let's try it Mason's way, and you know, seeing what happened and try to upsell. And if you keep running into challenges, well, then you can maybe try this other method that everybody else is doing, a different sales script.
I think when I restart my ads, I will try that. Oh, well, you don't even need to run ads, do you? You're cold calling.
Well,
You're messaging them.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, yeah, I mean, here, so the thing is, you could make it work that way too, right? 'Cause I was thinking about that for you as well. Is like if you didn't want to run ads, you would just go into, but the thing is, you got to get them to message you. So I don't know how you would do that with for personal training. Do you know how? Like, do you just go in and part of the strategy is you go in and you get their phone numbers, you text them all. Can you get personal trainers to do that? Is there a way it leads a scraping source?
I think you can literally just jump on Instagram and put personal trainer in because every personal trainer is going to have their fucking PT in their bio. It's going to come up.
They don't put their phone numbers out there generally.
Not their phone numbers, but you could DM them.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it-
probably yeah.
If you can't
Yeah,
DM them, they're already fit.
Was
I
that?
guess I said, I guess now I think it was like, so you can't personally DM them yourself because you're already fit. You don't look like you need personal training. But I guess if you really wanted, I mean, a thought that just came to my mind is like you could create an account of somebody that's not very fit and you can DM them that way, and they never even end up knowing what you look like. I guess you could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Like,
I mean, yeah, you could DM them yourself. I mean, you
I
could.
could DM them because anyone, no matter like what they might look like now, they obviously want to get to something more, whether they want to put on way more muscle, whether they want to get show ready, whether they just want to lose more fat, or whether they want to get race ready or endurance ready. There's so many different aspects. Like I need a coach. I haven't got one. I'm looking for one right now for to go race coast to coast. So I don't think it matters what you look like. I don't think it changes it. I think it's just messaging them and being like, hey, do you want some free fucking leads? But I have to then run ads to go pick up those people. But then I can get it from essentially anywhere.
So we can try that, right? So the next time you want, I mean, you bring up a good point. So maybe the next round we just try cold DM and say, "Hey, are you taking on any clients?" And then from there you hop on a call and try to do the bait and switch and everything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe shot. And
And
that
if
now the
you're not
entire
running ads, then that could work.
yeah, because the entire conversation changes, right? And now you can pretty much do exactly what the other guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I want to get Heidi some results. I want to get Jess some results. I want to get Jose some results. And I want to get fucking old John Boy back into it, get his head back in the game and get him some results. And once I got those three at least, and then I'm working with John, I'll crack back into everything else.
Launch it, friend. Don't focus on getting the results. Like just launch, do the bare minimum. But if you trust me, because it's going to take you 6 months, bro. It's going to take you 6 months to crack getting results. I promise you, it's not going to happen overnight. So I would say just work past these bot. If I'm you, the main focus is streamlining things. That's the
Yeah.
name of the game.
Yeah.
Streamlining things so that the moment somebody says yes to a trial, you get them up and running. That's all you should be focused on. In terms of getting people results, it's going to take you 6 months solid to figure it out, to really crack how to consistently get people results. And then from there,
This,
let's focus on
if
acquisition.
if I'm giving them clients, right? So if I run an ad to pick up some people who need PT and they come to me and then I go pass them on to old fucking Joe mate,
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm not running a trial with them anymore, am I? I'm just giving them leads to go through for 3 days. Here's 3 days worth of leads.
Potentially. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So you're running ads yourself from your own Instagram, getting leads, and then you hop on. Yeah. Well, but the thing is, so you're, but
Is that not how you're explaining it?
well, here's the thing though. So when you're getting the leads, they're going inside your DMs.
Yeah.
And then how are you going to get them from your DMs to their DMs or whatever? I guess you don't have to. I guess you get them inside your DMs. Well, here's the thing. When you get them inside your DM, somebody has to work them to get on the phone call. That's the job of a setter.
But how is the concrete people? You're saying you call up concrete company, bait and switch. I've got some free leads for you. Phone down. You're then running ads. What accounts are you running your ads through?
So you create, so good question. So you create, so me, in this case, I would create a fake concrete Facebook page and I would create a fake Instagram page, a generic one. So say Evergreen Concrete, Evergreen Concrete would be my Facebook and my Instagram. I would run ads through that and then I would pass those on to you.
Yeah, there's literally no difference to what I basically just said.
So
But once they come to DM me, I just need to get their number or something that I can pass on.
exactly. So you could do it that way.
And then they're going to look at that being quite weird, aren't they? Like they're going to be like, but you're this person's name and now this person's trying to sell me PT. Or it's like, well, actually, this person needs PT and I know he does, so I'm just going to fucking cut them off and ignore them or something. But you're going to come in because you know that they need PT and they're interested in it. So you're kind of just like coming in from the side. It's like that they end up cold messaging. It's like you're cold messaging someone who's warm.
So here's, I think what would have to happen is let's say you ran the ads to your Instagram. You would have to have somebody inside there as a setter who's talking to those people and extracting the phone numbers. And
Mm.
from there, because the thing is like, even if somebody gives you a phone number,
This is making extra steps, actually. This has made extra steps. If I message them, DM these PTs, say like, oh, I can get you some leads for free. This is how we do it. And I've got systems in place that streamline it so that it only takes me an hour and a half to set them up and give them an ad to run. So if I've already got a preset ad, then it's
that's
done.
easier.
It's way
easier.
less steps, and then it's going through their accounts. It's going directly back to them. Sure, it might be my face on the video, but it's going to their fucking DM. And there's you don't need that extra person jumping shit between. Yeah, we made that way too complicated. Which is essentially the way that I'm going about it. Which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to streamline. Just need to fucking figure out how to make it better.
So yeah, so in short, right? In short, step one, just in terms of focusing, right? Step one, get, just launch all this shit, right? Two, do your best to work through the sales process, try to do upsells, downsells, learn some stuff, right? Maybe create some course material when you have some bottlenecks. Three, we can try the DM approach that you're talking about. Like, hey, man, like I need are you taking on any trainers? You hop on a call, you do literally the same thing everybody else is doing in terms of script. From there, yeah, you have an ad that you can just launch for them ideally. That, I guess that's the bottleneck you're working through right now, is like so that you're not getting them to need to film something, edit something, all that stuff.
My bottleneck is literally just having an ad that I can just give to them and run.
Yeah.
And I think I
And
need to make
so
it myself. And I need to get a female version to run myself.
exactly, that's 100%. It's like just one version of a guy, one version of a female, and then that's a wrap. That's it.
Yeah.
And so now whoever you take on, you can just launch that. If they're a female, launch the female version. If they're male, launch the male version. And what I was saying 2 weeks ago, so now we're on the same page. I spoke to you about this about 2 weeks ago. What I said that was a little bit different is if you have African American people, Asian people, all that stuff, now things are, that's the difference. So if you have like an African American woman, you can't just run a Caucasian woman ad for her, right? That's the variable. So that's what I'm saying is like if you front load some work and you get a female, a male of various different ethnicities, or whoever you take on as a trial, you just get them to create the content and you just use that evergreen and get their permission. Like, hey, can I use this in my marketing? Does that make sense? Those are two different ways you can do it.
I want to try to do this with like a B-roll ad with shit over top. So if we do get to their ethnicity, I've already got the ad in place. All I need to do is swap out the B-roll of this Caucasian person and put the B-roll in of them. They were going to have B-roll of themselves. So I'll be like, go video for these 4 exercises. And now I have B-roll of African American that I just need to slap in behind it, and it's done. That would be so much fucking faster. So now I need This is what we need to work out. So I'm not sure if Mason, if you've got a mint idea for this, but it kind of needs to be a little bit generic, but I think it needs to be point enough, which is, I guess, lose weight. Everything seems to come back to losing some weight, energy, and having your dream body back.
That's it.
And it seems to be about parents as well, because you're running out of time. So I need to make a script that's generic. So I need to pull something from the script that I made for John, the script that I made for Jose, and the script that I made for Jess, which is Lauren's script, the one for Jess. And we need to some Frankenstein those three so that it's generic and specific enough at the same time. And then just slap some fucking B-roll on it.
Yeah, so for the female ones, I would just
I think this is extremely complicated. I don't think you need 17 different ads. I think if you and your wife got
No,
together-
it's one ad. It's one ad.
yeah, I get
it's-
that. But what I'm saying is like there's no need to do any of that. Like if it was me, what I would do is I would sit down with your wife, create one ad and say, "Hey, are you a busy parent X, Y, and Z? If so, blah." Then I would have one setter, and then my one setter would just set all the appointments for me. That's all I would do. Like you don't need 17 different ads. You don't need a B-roll ad. You don't have to get them to do anything other than that. You just need one ad. Just post your ad to their account. It's not even going to go to their page, right? It's just going in the ads manager. It's not even put on their post. It's just being ran to their account. That's it.
I'm not quite sure I understand.
So if you created an ad with your wife,
Yep.
you scripted that out. You could put that on any fitness coach's page. Run that as an ad. Have them go to the DMs of the person's page that you're running the ads to. And then either they can set, or you can have your account use it as like what Coach Sheik was saying, where you could just be the fitness coach, right? Or you and your wife can just create videos one a week, post it to your profile. Then
we scratched that. So when you went to the bathroom, we scratched that. We're not doing that.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I would just go with my original idea. It's just you still film the video with your wife and then take that ad and then place it in the ads manager of your person's the client's account, and then just run the ads with your face and your wife's face, and then just say busy parents, and then it will hit both male and female.
Busy parents.
Yep. And then have you and your wife in the ad.
So wouldn't yeah, no, I see what you're saying. We're never actually using any of the PTs. It doesn't matter what ethnicity they are, because we're just calling out someone and it's just B-roll of us because
Yes,
we're parent.
correct.
So it doesn't matter what ethnicity the coach
Nope.
is or anything.
Nope.
They see us, but we're just B-roll.
Yep.
And that's the ad.
Yep.
Okay, wait. So okay, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yep.
So the idea is we have this ad that people see. It has basically Ryan, wife, doing a bunch of activities, and you're just calling out busy parents.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a B-roll ad per se. I mean, it could literally be, I think this would even be performing better if you both were on the screen in the beginning and the hook was, you and your wife are sitting together. It's like, hey, are you a busy parent that's struggling with? Then it just cuts to a scene where your wife is doing the laundry and she's like, I'm trying to get back into shape, but it seems like everything I'm doing it makes me so busy. And then it cuts back to you and you're like, you have your kid over your shoulder and you're like, yeah, like going back to the gym is so hard to do, especially when you have a kid, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's why we created the busy parent guide and getting back into shape where you can do X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. If that sounds like you, if you're a busy parent, you're trying to get back in shape, DM me the word parent, parent guide, and we will, we'll send you our free guide. There you go.
Let's say we have an African American personal trainer and you try to run that ad.
It will work.
You don't think it's going to skew the data and get her like,
Nope.
okay.
I think both Kashyyyk and my reservation there is us actually talking to the camera. Whereas if we were just B-roll and it's just the words talking to the camera, then it wouldn't matter what PT. That's what it feels. It feels like it wouldn't matter what PT it is, what gender, what race, or anything.
Because it's a DM ad, it's not being posted to the profile. Very rarely is someone gonna go from your ad to your profile, then back to your DM ad, and then input in the information. They're just gonna go, they're gonna see the DM ad, they're gonna send that person the message, and that's it.
So I'm gonna make a recommendation. I'm not disagreeing with Mason. I think it's possible that what he's saying is gonna work. Here's what I would recommend doing. Here's what I would do. If you wanted to test that, feel free to test that, right? I would say Ryan B roll. Wife B roll for now. For now. And I mean, think the people that you have, and then down the road, it would be, tan, right? Tan, right? And that's it, right? And you have the female version, you have the male version, right? I think, right, we're on the same page. I think this is what you're talking about, Ryan. Start with these two. And I mean, fuck. All right, think about it like this. All right, how about this? We're still complicating it. Why are we complicating? Here's why. Because if we do the strategy of you DMing people, you can literally just find people that look like you and your wife. Right? So now you've solved this bottleneck. You record this, your wife records this, cheat sheet, same shit. Everything goes after the same avatar. Hey, are you a man between this age and this age? You're trying to get back in shape. Use my cheat sheet, whatever. Wife. Hey, are you Lauren Script? These two film the. Go ahead.
Why do we need to actually talk in the video?
It would you don't have to actually. You don't
Like some of Lauren's videos that she's done, there's no talking, right? So
Yeah,
how
so-
did those put Mason?
remember this is why I say B-roll. The B-roll ad.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is the script can it just be copy over the B-roll? In which case it doesn't need separate ads. It just needs one singular ad that could go to, it doesn't matter what the trainer is, doesn't matter what ethnicity, doesn't matter anything. It's one singular ad that just works for all of them because it's just B-roll of some random parents doing parenting stuff, and the actual copy is giving you your call to action for the DM.
Yeah. I see. I see what you're saying. So
I think the issue comes when one of us starts talking to a camera and saying, "Are you this person?" and you're actually verbally calling them out.
So if we look at so this ad, right? Are
Yeah.
we both talking about the same thing here?
This is exactly what I was thinking about.
So if you did this, that's what I'm saying, is like if you look at again, Mason's telling you it's not going to make a difference, right? Maybe he's right. What I'm telling you is you do one of these ads that literally like you do a version of this with your wife. Okay, your wife is working out, whatever, and then you have an older person here. Okay, so you have one version there. That's the one that goes out to all the females. And then you have one version where again it's you doing this activity, and then maybe you got some older guy here. So you got one female version, you got one male version. That is it. And all the personal trainers you reach out to are Caucasian males and females that look similar to you guys. That's it.
I think that points mute what trainer it goes to.
I'm sorry?
It won't matter. What trainer it goes to won't matter. Because
Exactly.
in this video, and like in this video, you have no idea what Lauren looks like, and you have no idea what Mason looks like, and it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So it could go to any trainer. It doesn't like it literally doesn't matter. What you're saying by doing two is okay, we're making ads, one that targets female mom or one that target mom, and then we're doing one that targets dads. Okay, I can understand why I would do that as opposed to doing both. we could probably just do literally one ad that does both. But if you're like, hey, I've got a PT here, she wants to work with women, she does not want to work with men. Okay, here's the mum's one. This person wants to work with just dads, not women. Okay, here's the dad's one. Okay, and I can understand why that's a good idea to separate that, because there are PTs here where are like, I don't want to work with females, or I don't want to work with men.
Exactly.
But yeah, it doesn't matter what the PT or person looks like. Doesn't matter if the African American, like African American could have made this and you would have no idea.
So here's the thing. If
Mason could be white facing right now. I don't know.
if you reach out to just, if we do the DM strategy and we just reach out to Caucasian people, which I think you can do, you can just target specific Caucasian people, then you're going to be fine. We don't need to think about it. However, if you run paid ads to get trials, you don't know who's going to come in. You have like a dude who's Spanish right now. You have someone that might be African American. Does that make sense? So if you run paid ads to grow your business, then all of a sudden these ads, in my opinion, again, Mason's going to tell you different. I'm going to say to you that maybe these ads are not enough. Maybe you need a black version, you need an Asian version as well. That's what I'm saying.
Why?
Because I don't think you need it, but I mean, actually, maybe you do need it because some people
where do you
gonna-
think, is it because these ads, because there's only white women in these ads, you think it's only going to attract white women?
that's
So it means that this PT, who might be African American, it's like, I don't want to work with white women. Give me one of these ads, but with black women, so it attracts
I will
black
tell you,
women.
I will tell you, my community is one of the most mixed communities compared to my competitors. When I go to their Facebooks, when I go to the people that are in the community, it's completely different than me. Who is in the ad makes a difference. I promise you it does. Again, Mason might be right, and it might be a little bit different when it comes to DM ads, but in my experience, whoever's in front of the camera matters. If you look at, for example, I don't know if you were here for Jeremy's calls, but Jeremy's CPM is like 100 some bucks versus I'm on CPM is way lower. It attracts two different kinds of people. It's literally the exact same script, exact same ad, exact same funnel.
Right. Okay.
So
I see what you're saying.
I do I do think who's in the camera matters, right? I do think it matters. I do think and so right now, to keep things simple, just have a female version and have a male version. That's it. Just trust me. Have a female version, have a male version. Just trust me for now. And then down the road, if we need to create more, we'll create more.
Yep.
Now, if you wanted to go a level beyond, what you would do so that you didn't have to deal with this is you would create one version where you do this and one version where your wife does this. This would be a level beyond.
Used to reclaim
But the reason I'm saying it might not be worth it is because Mason is already getting fantastic results with this version. So it's like, well, do you need to go to the effort, like talk in front of the camera? I mean, you might as well if you're going to do it. You might as well create both these ads. So have 4 ads, 2 for you, 2 for your wife. Might as well. It's not going to cost you anything additional in terms of work. But that's it. And I don't think you need to do anything else in terms of like this ad creation bottleneck that you have right now. You're not going to need to do anything else.
Yeah, I think that's the answer, 100%. Have you got some input there, Mason?
Mason's going to tell you to throw a clown on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, fuck off, Kashyyyk. What are you talking about?
Mason, you there or did you disappear?
I'm here. What did someone say?
Don't worry about
All right. We're just asking if you had any input, man.
it. What else you got for us, Ryan? Anything
No,
else?
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep, okay. So step by step, again, just get these guys launched. Yeah, just get them launched. Keep us up to date. Don't spend too long here. Do your best to try to convert them, but don't stress out about it too much. We need to focus back on client acquisition as soon as possible, right? Just run these guys through the gauntlet, learn about these bottlenecks, and we're gonna keep having to figure out these systems to solve these bottlenecks. And then yeah, we'll focus on client acquisition again. Cool. Anything else before I move on to Rodarte?
No, mate, that's it. That's all good. Thank you.
Cool.
Oh,
Mr. Rodarte.
I'll leave you to it. I
Go
gotta
ahead.
head off.
Mr. Rodarte. It's gone, man.
Hey, how's it going? Glad I can make it today.
Surprise guest appearance.
Yeah, my calendar opened up, and I was like, "Oh, cool chic."
What's
So, yeah, I gotten 3 more leads today for that salon.
Okay.
So
Good.
that seems to be humming along.
Okay, good.
So these are just the lead gen forms, just so you know, like, or just for clarification. I'm still on my girl about, speed to lead, but she's doing what she can. So she opens her new shop on her own salon in the beginning of March, like March 3rd. And since she was open to just running ads now and like trying to get pre-booking, I thought, like, the reason why I said, because the whole thing is like, you got me for a month, right? My thing was like, well, we didn't really talk about whether or not my time started or not, whatever, but I was just thinking that this is kind of like a free trial run for myself, like to get her leads. And then, if it's working out, then we can continue. If not, then obviously I'll just like, oh, well, you weren't, I don't know, kind of frame it maybe like, now that you're opening your own shop, like now it's real. Because right now she doesn't even have the time to do what she's advertising. And she didn't tell me that, so like we launched. I was like, shit. So anyway, so the idea is to get all these leads and then pre-book for when she opens. Like, hey, I'm available, beginning of March.
So is this something she asked for, or like, why are you considering doing this?
No, this is not what she asked for in terms of
Is or is not what she asked for? The pre-booking.
No, the pre-booking is what she wanted to do. Yeah.
I would not.
So you think just turn off ads?
I mean, don't be running ads for the new location for sure. Because what's going to happen is if you run an ad, you generate a lead. By the time, when does she open up the new location?
Beginning of March, but girls like book advance anyway, so that's why I thought it was like my wife, she knows she's getting her hair done like 6 weeks ahead of time usually.
I mean, if that's the case, I mean, in my experience with most people, when it comes to Facebook ads, man, like you want to get them in the chair, you want to get them doing the thing within the week because people get cold. Unless you're going to collect a deposit, right? Unless she's collecting a deposit,
Well,
that's very risky.
Yeah, so basically the way she works is before me, she would just kind of snipe people off of like going to communities, like Facebook communities, and like just like cherry pick, people off of like she's like, hey, I know I'm available kind of a thing, like if you wanted to. And she would just kind
I
of,
see.
she says she would collect deposits.
But that's Facebook groups, man. It's not Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Facebook ads, somebody clicks on an ad, they opt in, like.
So do you think like I should give it a couple more days and then be like, hey, you know what? Like, why don't we just turn off ads and wait till you're up and running?
I mean, here's the thing. So how many leads have you generated?
9 total.
How many has she had a conversation with?
I think maybe 3.
Has she converted everybody into like showing up, saying yes? Like, what is she?
I haven't gotten that information from her yet, but the issue I'm having right now is her notifications. Like, so we're set up an email notification, and for whatever reason, she's not getting the emails. However, when I go in the Go High level, it's like you can see them being sent. So I don't know why. And I've told her like, hey, make sure your notifications are on, like all that stuff. And I mean, she's 24. She knows how like all that tech stuff works.
I mean, like, what is she saying on these calls? Do you know? Like, hey.
So I told her to try to do the double dial. And the thing is, like, she's her full-time job. She's basically there from like 7 to 4. And so she says that she gets slammed. Like there's like sometimes there's really no time to like even take a break, let alone, hop on a phone call. And I'm like, okay, so but at 4 p.m., like after 4 p.m., like you could be catching up on your leads. and I'm telling her like do the double dial, text, and then like
What is she selling? What's
a
she
voice
selling?
note.
Like, is she selling them on coming in? Like, hey, come in and it's 10% off. Like, what is she selling?
So
That's what
the ad is just book a consultation now.
okay.
So they
So-
they enter information in their lead, and then her consultation is usually just over the phone, or sometimes they want like a FaceTime. So like, okay, she kind of fills them out. Like it has been FaceTime sometimes, but mostly it's just a phone call. And then
Okay, so she is hopping on Zoom calls or like FaceTime.
Not I don't know if she's done it so far. No, I'll reach out to her tonight to remind her to tell me the like her progress here. But the last I heard from her this morning was she hasn't
What I'm getting at is this. Like, what I need to understand is, hey, are you hopping on the call and then, hey, at the end of it, hey, sounds good. It's put down a $50 deposit, come into my establishment, I'll get it done. Is it like that? Or is it like, hey, sounds good, everything sounds good, come into my establishment, I'll go and assess you there, or hop on our call, hey, it's all right, sounds good, it's gonna be $500, put down $20. Like, what is being said? That's kind of what I'm getting at. Because that'll tell me whether the reason I'm asking this is depending on what that is, I will tell you either keep doing what you're doing or turn off the ads and turn them on when she gets to the new location. That's why.
okay. What I'm telling her to do, and I might have to like tell her again, and then like do what you do, like ask, like walk me through what you're saying, kind of a thing. But I'm telling her to go ahead and call, and then I said just do like if she hasn't. She basically told me, she's like, when I get them out on the phone, I'm pretty good. I'm good to book them. I'm like, okay, cool. So just do what you do, but make sure you're calling them, and don't leave it to definitely don't leave it to emails, and definitely don't leave it to text. Like I told her about the voice notes if they're iPhone, right? And she's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, it's just like a personal touch. It's like it's different. They're definitely gonna listen to the voice note rather than a voicemail. Like I could look at my voice message box, my voicemail, and I have like 30. I'm one of those people. Like I have 30 that I just haven't listened to. And so you don't want to be one of those. Like you want them to see a thread. It's more personal. It's like friendly, right? Oh, like we're friends all of a sudden. And she's like, okay, that's a good idea. But then I don't know. She's like, what do I say in the voice note? I'm like, well, you just like introduce yourself. Say, hey, I just want to leave tried calling you. I just thought I'd leave a voice note, but go ahead and leave me a text when you want to consultation, and yada yada yada. Just I didn't provide her with a real script, just like bullet points. Like what you want to get across is, you call for a consultation. Go ahead and you don't want them calling you because she can't answer if she's at work. So I said, why don't you just ask them, like text me when you're available for a consultation, kind of thing, or like say I'm free after 4 p.m.
What you can do, Rodarte, by the way, is
Well, I'm on YouTube.
if you wanted to, you could add her to your Go High Level system as a staff member, give her access to your pipeline, and then send an internal notification to her when the leads come in just by adding her phone number in the system, because I know she's having a hard time setting up text messaging. So basically, if you add her as a staff member and then send an internal notification to her, it will update her in real time. All you have to do is just set up that automation that you set up for her on your end.
Okay, so everything's set up on her Go on the sub account for her on Go High Level. Is that supposed to be on my end on my
Not
sub
necessarily. No. So the reason I'm saying you could, if you wanted to, you could do it on your end is because she doesn't have, you said she didn't have like an EIN or anything, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what I'm saying is if you just set it up on your end and you just have an internal notification sent to her, that's all you need to do.
So how do I do that on my end?
Literally the exact same thing that you've done on her end. You
I guess
create
my question is, do I run ads from my account then?
So you could still run ads from her ads manager wherever you're running ads to. All you're doing is you're just linking that Facebook form into your Go High Level. That's all you're doing. Literally nothing else changes.
Okay.
Nothing.
Got it.
So I guess what's kind of the core question that you have right now? Is
The
there
core
any way?
question was, should I keep her ads running, or should we stop until she is like nearing like opening business, so it's like more immediate, like maybe like a week before or something. I don't know.
Like I don't really know what she's doing. It sounds like you don't know what she's doing either. Um, it's like
This girl, this. Go ahead.
it's like, are we talking if she's like you need the system. Like you need to
I
know we hop on a call in order to set up a consultation that shows up in person. Like what is the next thing that she's selling? What is the thing that she's selling? Like obviously, like, here's what I'm getting at. It's like you have an ad, and then from there people become a lead, and then from there she has a call, and then what is next? What is next? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like ultimately, how do we make the money? And
well,
I don't understand this. I don't understand what's going on here.
so that she hasn't gotten that far is my thing.
Okay.
So like where you're saying what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next, like it hasn't gotten there yet.
So you need to have something, a theory of what needs to be here, because you're throwing her in the deep sea, bro. Like she's not gonna know what the fuck to say. You need like for example, I gave you a script, right? I gave you a script. I gave you something to follow. She needs to have an idea of some kind of a script, something she needs to be saying. So for this call, it's like, okay, I know the goal of the call is to push them here, for example. So she needs a script or something to get people here. I don't know what this step is, and this step is. So that's where a little bit of research would come in. That's why I'm on YouTube right now doing a little bit of research. I'm trying to figure that out. You need to
Got
kind
it.
of have an idea of, okay, hey, here's the script that you need to have to push them further along.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I think I don't even like depending on what that looks like, then you can answer the question of like, do we keep the ads on or do you keep the ads off? Because it depends on how big the sales cycle is. If the sales cycle if the sales cycle with Archie is like add and then become a lead and then like hop on a quick call and then they get in within like 2 days, like this sales cycle is like a 7 day sales cycle, right? And so if that's a 7 day sales cycle, I mean, I don't just keep it on, keep everything on, unless you can't take something on. In my opinion, I think you should just probably keep it on. Like just keep it on. Don't think about anything in terms of like the new location, whatever. What she should be doing, here's the thing. Here's what she should be doing to answer this question. Add, book them in as soon as possible. That's it. Book them in as soon as possible, unless they have like a specific thing of like, hey, I want to get this blowout here in like for like 6 weeks. If she wants to get a blowout for like 6 weeks, okay, great. Collect a deposit. Does that make sense? It's like you just don't want to be hopping on a call talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, I'll be back in like 3 months. No, she's fucking not.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's the same thing you're doing. Speed to lead, getting people to buy in. Whatever the rules and the principles are for you, Rodarte, are for her. They apply to her as well. There's nothing special about her because she's doing hair salon. She has to work her leads just as hard as you work your leads.
I guess I just thought she said when she told me that once I get him on the phone, I'm good to like book.
I don't give a fuck what she says.
I'm like, okay, so all you need is the leads then.
No, dude, you don't fucking like that. No, she has no fucking clue what she's talking about, bro. And you need to like school her. You need to figure out what's going on and kind of go back. Like you need to like if she says, for example, oh, I'm good. It's like, okay, well then you need to have a conversation with her, doctor, and be like, okay, so what are you trying to do? What's like you need to learn that. Maybe that's on you. Like you need to learn from her. Okay, you're good on the phone. Walk me through your script. Walk me through what you say, so that you're clear on. You need to like know what's going on.
Got it. Okay.
And if I were you, I would do a little bit of like this research, right? Like I would see what people are doing for hair salons. There's a ton of stuff I'm looking at. Um, like this guy's breaking down all the numbers. So I'd be looking at this kind of stuff, man.
Okay. Um, and then my plumber, if we're done with her.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, like on it, like it, dude, it goes back to the same thing, man. You can't just like you got to go inside Facebook groups and stuff like that and kind of see what people are doing. And you got to give again, this is the draw drawback with the 636 week sales funnel was like time and energy needs to go into like service delivery. Time and energy needs to go into like giving people the proper training and make sure that they're good. Some people are better than others, but you know, if you don't, she's gonna lose money and then she's gonna fire you. If she's not making money, she's gonna fire you.
Okay. So can I
Yeah,
show
go
you
ahead.
my screen here with my plumber?
Yeah.
So this is where I thought I might have been concerned here. So $5 and not a single link click. And this said it's learning here. I've never seen this before. And it's saying it could take up to 7 days.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about delivery learning, not learning. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So is this concerning here?
I don't know if it's concerning or not. This goes back to like doing research, bro. Like you gotta go like I don't know what the number should be in that niche. Like, what do you have you done any research to figure out what the cost per click, the cost per lead, the cost
Well,
per
I know what's similar to my service ads, right? So here.
I don't necessarily know that it should be similar to your HVAC service ads. Like I don't know.
This was a much higher ticket item. This was like offering I forget even what I offered actually. I think it's in a new HVAC install.
Yeah.
And I got leads, you know, that's a high end 1760, 1068. And
So for the HVAC, did you do a little bit of funnel hacking?
I tried I ended up just doing the lead gen form, but much like we're doing with this guy, and it was just a generic.
No, what I'm asking is like for your ad, your offer, your creative, your copy, like did you do some market research to help you determine like what ad you're gonna run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the plumber, did you do the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm guessing the plumber ad, you got that from like Facebook ads library. You got that from somewhere. You didn't like come up with it. It's like somewhere. So
Correct.
my thing too is what I'm saying is we don't know how good that is. We don't know if it's a good offer. We don't know if it's a bad offer. We don't know if it's normal, if it's we don't know. There's no way to know. The only way to know if this is normal or not normal is you can go into ChatGPT, you can ask a bunch of questions to see, and even that you can't really rely on. But there's no way to know other than like speaking to somebody that does plumber, or guess where you can go? YouTube. And go into YouTube, do a little research there and say, hey, running plumber ad. They'll probably give you some costs, cost per lead, cost per whatever. And now you can kind of compare and see, okay, is this within range or not?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you got to go to, if you're wondering about costs and stuff, and if everything's within KPI, YouTube, ChatGPT, other Facebook groups to find people that are running ads in that particular niche. That's the only way to know if something's healthy, not healthy, if it's good, it's not good.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. It could be normal, dude. Like it's hard for me to tell you anything. I don't really know. That could be totally normal. It could not be.
Well, it's a lot of times you're like, oh, these are healthy numbers or these are not healthy numbers without even going through all of it. So I thought maybe like you would be like, oh yeah, this is my thing is like, holy shit, like not even a single link click.
I can tell usually if not you, it's usually if I have some kind of experience. So when I look at this, I'm not gonna make a judgment off of it initial like right away, but like some things I'm gonna be looking at is like, okay, what is your unique link click-through rate? Is it around 1% or not? But honestly, I can't even say because I have nothing to base this off of. Like I've never ran a plumber ad. I don't know if it's good or bad. Aiden's doing, like I said, plumbers right now. So if we see his numbers, you can maybe have some way to compare some stuff too. but I don't have anything to compare to, so I don't know if this is good or bad.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to tell you if it's good or bad is learning from somebody that's in that particular niche. Again, YouTube, ChatGPT, stuff like that.
Got it.
Like same thing for the salon. Like I don't know if those are good numbers or not. Honestly, I really don't know.
Well, according to Mason, he was getting about $7 leads,
Okay.
and
What are your
we're
costs?
right at
$6?
$6, but one is outperforming, right? So like they're all coming from this one here. So that's 550. And this is the one that's bringing it up.
One other thing I'll tell you again, it's kind of when it comes to like results and stuff like that, it's like there's like a shit ton of information that comes to my head, and then sometimes I'm able to like tell you something and sometimes I'm not. If I look at this, what comes to my mind automatically is go into the Slack channel really quick.
Can't get this.
You're good. And then go into the value drops channel. And then go into where I talk about like the lead to purchaser conversion rate and stuff. If you scroll up.
Is this it?
Yeah. So if you click on that image right down there. So I don't it's the image below that. But that's basically telling you like, hey, it's going to be about 3 to 6%. So now here you have this data, right? So again, I got this from ChatGPT. So is she e-commerce, brick and mortar? She's going to be brick and mortar. Health, wellness, fitness, events. So if I look at brick and mortar, it's about a 3.5. So again, includes gyms, restaurants, salons, right? So she would be under salon. So that means about 2 to 3.5% of the leads are going to turn into purchasers. So that means if you get 100 link clicks and I'm sorry. Yeah, if so your cost per lead right now is what, 650? Yeah, so if we just do so 630, right? So so if we do 632 times 100, that's what is that? 60 32? Is my math
632.
632? 6.3, yeah, times 100, boom. So that means, so out of $632 of ad spend, you would get how many sales? You get 2 to 3 sales, right?
How are you figuring that out?
Yeah, so that's again a good question. That's what I'm trying to help you see. So $6.32 is the cost per lead, right?
Yep.
Right. So let's take 632 and let's multiply that by 100 leads. So that's
$632.
so $632 to get 100 leads. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So if I look here at this thing, it says brick and mortar. It's the second one down. Yep. Arrow down. Yep. Boom. What does that say? Brick and mortar local businesses lead to purchaser conversion rate is 2 to 3.5%. In other words, what that means is out of 100 leads that you get, 2 of them are going to buy to 3.5 of them are going to buy.
Okay.
So what does that mean? That means if we spend $632 on ads, that's going to give us 100 leads. Out of
Right.
that,
Where you lost me, you said was out of the 632, that's 2 purchasers.
yeah, because here, this is lead to purchaser conversion rate.
No, that's 2%.
Yeah, so that's why, yeah,
So that's 12.
So $6.32 times 100, that's $632.
Times 2%, right?
So $632, if I divide that by 2, take $632, divide that by 2. That means my cost per acquisition is $315. At your numbers, it's going to cost you about $315 to get 1 sale.
I'm sorry. I'm not following where you're getting the. I see here it says 2 to 2.5%. So wouldn't you just go 632 times 2% because that's the lead?
That's how much money. So that's how much money you spent, Rodarte, not how many leads. So it's not 2% of the money you spent. It's 2% of the total amount of leads.
So you spent $6.32 for one lead.
Got it.
So 100 leads would be $632, right?
Got it.
And so out of that $632, you're gonna have 2 to 3.5 purchase. If I divide that by 2, it's $315. If I divide that by like 632 divided by 3, that's $210 per purchaser. So that means you're gonna spend anywhere from $210 to $315 for a purchaser. So now the question becomes, okay, if this lady spends $315 on ads, is she making more than $315 for the product? What is she charging? Is she charging, I don't know, what do salon owners charge? Like 1,000?
She's charging, I think, 500 something.
Okay. Okay, so now you got the math, bro. So she's charging $500. It's going to cost $300 in ad spend. She's left with $200 profit for every single sale. That's how the numbers are going to approximately work out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't think these numbers here were that low.
Yeah.
I was thinking like out of 100 leads.
Rodarte, I'm
How-
gonna punch you on the chin. You know why?
Why?
I share this valuable stuff with you guys, and I want you guys to learn from it. This is super crucial. What I learned is that if you look at all these numbers, about 3% of people is the lead to purchaser value or conversion rate. So every time, so again, if you just look and scan this, on the high end, it's 6%, but typically it's about 3%. So what I was trying to share through this post, if you read it through, what I was sharing with the guys, the main takeaway is, hey, whenever you generate leads for people, about 3% of those leads are going to purchase, no matter what. If you look at the board, about 3% of people are always going to buy. 3% are always going to buy. So the question becomes, how do we get those people to spend as much money as possible? So if she spends $315, she's pretty much going to get one purchaser. She just has to make that person spend a shit ton of money with her, as much as possible. And so if she's charging $500, there's $200 of profit left. It's okay. Not that good. How much is she spending on ad spend with you? Like, how much is she spending per month?
Well, it's a daily budget, and we're at just $10 a day, I think.
So if she spends $10 a day times 30 days, so how many sales is she going to make in the 30 days which she's with you?
The high end would be 9.
No. She's spending $10 a day with you?
10, yeah, times 30. Oh, sorry. So then that's $300 for the month divided by what, 632?
No. So her ad spend with you is $10 a day, is that right? Am I understanding that correctly? Like that's what you're charging her to run ads with you. It's $10 a day, yeah?
That's
her-
what that's what her account set at.
Okay,
Right here.
so here's the math. If she spends $10 a day with you, in 30 days she's going to spend $300.
Right. And then divide that by,
We're dividing.
huh?
So $300 is how much she's spending on ads. What we just calculated earlier is that the cost per acquisition is $300. So that means if she spends $10 a day with you, or if she spends $10 a day running ads on Facebook, she's going to make one sale. She's going to make $500 minus the $300 in ad spend. She's going to walk away with $200 profit, which isn't even enough for you. So she's not going to keep you on. Right?
Right.
I can, if you're a little bit confused, please voice that and I'll share my screen. I'll write the numbers out for you. We can break it down because I think it's important that you understand the stuff. Okay.
I think I just came at the number. It's like I thought it would be like a higher closing rate, but you're just saying. Anyways, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's 3%, bro. Like that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that you know that, now this is why the rules are the rules when it comes to this other video of the 4 numbers you need to hit in your business, which is whatever you charge, you need to get people to spend 1.5x of that. So whatever you're getting her to pay, how much is she paying you? $500 a month or what?
1,000.
Yeah, dude, that's not gonna fucking work. If she's spending $1,000 with you, she's got to be spending 1.5K on ads minimum. So let's look at the math here, right? So if she spends 1K with you, if she spends 1.5K on ads, $1,500 divided by $300 is 5 sales. So $1,500 ad spend divided by $300 cost per acquisition is 5 sales times $500 equals $2,500. Okay, so $2,500 is still not going to make sense. $2,500 minus $1,500 ad spend minus 1,000 service fee is going to leave her with nothing. So you charge $1,000. You're getting her to spend $1,500. $1,500 divided by $300 cost per acquisition. She gets 5 customers. She charges $500 a piece. That's 20. That's just the math is not fucking a mathing. And these are you know what I mean? And so if, however, I change this to, let's say she's charging $1,000, okay? Now all of a sudden she's making $5,000. $5,000 minus 1,500 minus 1,000. Now she's basically what is that? 25. Now she's pocketing 2,500. Now she's gonna be happy. So I'm sharing this with you because this is obviously very important. And you're not going to retain her if you don't like understand the stuff and price accordingly, get them to spend enough money accordingly. Right now, she's spending $300 on ads. So she spent $1,000 on you, $300 on ads. So $300 divided by 1 customer is like 1 customer. Yeah, $300 on ads, $300 for 1 customer, which equals $500 that she's going to make, minus 300 ad spend, minus 1K fee. She's going to be in a loss. So just no matter how you slice it with her, man, it's just not going to work unless she charges more.
Okay.
And I know, man, like this is like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I fucking understand this shit's fucking difficult and it's frustrating, I know. But yeah. What's brewing in your head, or questions, comments, concerns?
I guess like I'm wondering what was Mason when he was running this ad, like what were you doing? And what was the cert? Like I know it was like you were dying. Right? Because the ad was hide your grays or whatever. So
I wasn't running it for so long. I think I only spent maybe like 600, 700 bucks for Darte, but I think that my cost per acquisition for her was, I think, 200. And then we were just banking off the fact that the LTV of the customer was going to be high.
got it. Okay.
What's burning your head right now that he's shared that with you? I think my thing to you, Rodarte, is just like when you come in to work with somebody, I think like try to go through numbers before you hop on that sales call to make some kind of, if you want to do long term. Like reality is if the numbers are not gonna math, they're not going to keep you on. So it just depends. Are you just trying to close deals and just churn and burn? If so, like that's cool, dude. Like churn and burn, dude.
Well, that's what that's what you're telling me to do, right? Is just to go ahead and like
Cool. If that's what you want to do, churn and burn, man. That's what you want to do. You're not going to keep clients on, they're losing money. They're not going to, unless, and again, that's kind of the challenge, man. It's kind of the challenge with this funnel when you're not niche down. You got to like do the math, bro. Like straight up, like you got to do the math. You got to do it before the call. You got to charge appropriately. You got to
Yeah,
understand.
I did. I mean, I did the wrong math. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So I did
So it's
do
like,
math beforehand. It was just wrong.
okay. So it's like if you're gonna do this route, okay, like I'm gonna give you some practical advice, okay? Because I want to see you do well, okay? So you got two routes, dude. You churn and burn, and that's okay. I give zero fucks. If that's what works for you, that's what works for you. Just take people, close the deal, collect cash, keep them on until they fire you. Cool. That's what the average agency does. Option two is before your sales call, really understanding these stuff. So that means going on YouTube, that means going on ChatGPT, that means plugging these numbers in. That means really understanding the stuff in the value drops channel, man. Asking me questions to really just understand, for you to understand, and then you price accordingly and make sure that they're charging accordingly to see if the math is going to math. Those are the two routes. And then just hope things work out here. That's kind of like your two routes, man.
Okay.
You got to put in that work, man. I know it's ugly and it's painful, but you got to put in that extra work if you want it, like to keep people for the long term, like longer than a month. Because I'm telling you, she's not going to stick around with how much she's charging. And that's not even on you. It's like just how much she's charging and how much ad spend she's spending.
Okay.
What's bringing your head, or what are your questions?
No, just another
I know.
discouraging.
Yeah, it's discouraging. This is the problem with the niche funnel. It's fucking a lot of numbers to work them out. It's kind of like you just do a bunch of volume and just sometimes you get a really good one. And you understand you're gonna, it's kind of like you sign on like 5 people and you understand like one of them is going to stay around and the other ones are not going to stay around. That's kind of the volume game that you'd have to be playing unless you go more in depth, right? So you take 5 people, 6 people, you try to retain one of them, the other people just die. Right? Because it's hard to be that good. And that's why, again, if you niche down, even niching down, it's hard to be really good. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
No. Just
Punch, punch Kushik in the face. That's it. I know.
no, I have a demo, or I don't know if this guy's gonna show up or not, but I've got a demo at 7, so about less than an hour. And I don't know, the win, I have no win in my sales right now. Just gotta stir myself up.
Okay. Yeah. Mason, do you have thoughts, dude?
I mean, what would your thoughts be for Rodarte running the social funnel for himself in his local area?
Social funnel for what?
For himself. So instead of doing
Acquisition for what?
like for himself is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what is he offering? He's offering ads, he's offering video.
Literally, yeah, like a hybrid, like literally the same thing.
But the thing is, like, dude, like nobody's like, okay, let's say he was doing the social funnel for this hair lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, she ain't gonna make money.
How do you
Like,
know that?
I mean, come on, he's gonna run DM ads, hey, DM me, whatever, and then she's charging $500, right?
So it's not DM ads, it would be follower ads. But I'm following so far.
So whatever, follower ads, DM ads, same shit. Acquisition is like $100 more, $50 more for DM ads, right? It's a little bit more leverageable, but it's both of them are relatively cheap. So I mean, like, what would cost per acquisition be for her?
Well, I mean, you haven't done it, so I wouldn't say I would know exactly what it is, but I would imagine it's less than $300.
I mean, would it be significantly less? Would it be like $100?
I would imagine so, yes, actually. If I had to put my money on it, yes.
Then I would say it's worth it then, right?
It's not just that. I think it's for Rodarte. We're looking, he went to HVAC, right? Now he's doing the 6-figure, 6-week sales funnel. It's like he needs something solid where he can just dial in and do the same thing for client acquisition each and every time. And it's like there's no difference from Rodarte. Are you running the 6-figure, 6-week sales funnel in your local area?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would imagine you don't want to churn and burn because then you're gonna look like the local asshole, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is why shouldn't Rodarte just build his name up in his local area and then run the social funnel for local businesses and then have them not necessarily have to pay for the client acquisition where it's all straight up, but have him create a course and a training for his local area so that he can help people become the best known on Instagram and have that be the offer instead of, hey, I'm gonna give you 500 clients in the next 30 days and then just have it do like a $1,000, $2,000 course or whatever. And it's like for his winners, he can keep on and be more a little bit hands-on and then just charge for the filming.
Wait, what is he offering, bro?
So it would be a hybrid where he would go in to a local business, he would record social media videos for them, maybe one time a month, let's say 5 to 10 videos, and then
Yeah.
manage their ads. That's it. And then you can also have obviously like a course or an additional training.
I mean, all he has to do is like switch her over from like instant formats to DM ads, right? Like right now, like he doesn't need to technically go in and film anything, right? We're talking about just like make her an ROI. He's
Yeah.
charging,
So it would be, again, I would do follower ads in a local area.
so he's charging $1,000. He charged her $1,000. She's spending $300 on ads.
Yep.
If he can do follower ads and make her an ROI, I would say it's a win for him. It's a win for her. So if you're saying that that's the route, I mean, he can try it.
Well, I'm just saying that would be even more copy and paste so to various different niches as well. Instead of going out and going on YouTube and searching, what do I do for this niche? What do I do for this niche? What do I do for this niche? It's kind of like, hey, this is the same thing. And if Rodarte instead of spends his money on the 6-figure 6-week sales funnel, it's like he can demonstrate that he knows what he's doing, and then that would help him with the sales ability as well. It's like, fuck, dude, like Daniel, I see your ads 24/7 all the time. And it's like, I want to do that for my business too. It's like, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do.
If the follower ads are indeed cheap and they indeed do work, like I would say Rodarte should do that.
That's the direction I would like to see him go in, personally. But obviously, you can direct him in a different way, but that's what I would do.
I just want to fucking see him win, dude.
I feel like the class retard, to be honest. Like, I don't know.
Dude, you're not a retard, dude. It's just like the niches that you're working in, every niche has a disadvantage to it. And it's like HVAC, it's hard, in my opinion, to maybe acquire a client or get in contact with them. And then it's like, if you're running the 6-figure and 6-week sales funnel, like it's easy to acquire clients, but then service delivery becomes the hardest thing because there's so many different niches that you have to go involved in. So the only way to scale that up is to have a system where you can do the same damn thing every single time and have it work. And I think that thing for you is a social funnel. Because if you understand the fundamentals of how it works, which is very not complicated as much and said so the quote unquote class retard can do it, I think you can do it. Like I think you could definitely be able to do it.
So Rodarte, when is your call?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Okay, do you know what the social funnel is? Like, do you know what you would be doing?
Not enough to articulate it to like coherently to.
It's basically like you just run an ad. You just run a video ad. It's not even super important for the purpose of this conversation. And then it's like you hit the boost button and they get a shit ton of followers and they have to follow up every single lead, work them, and then try to get them booked in. That's the follower ad. And so there's not all this like math involved. And I mean, there still is. Like I'm hard pressed to believe that's going to be significantly cheaper, Mason. Like he's still gonna have to do math and stuff.
What do you mean?
Like, how do we give Rodarte no math?
Oh man, I needed that laugh. Thank you.
I mean, there's no such thing as doing no math. It's just
So they have to do math.
it's you'd
We
be
get a
getting
monkey. How do we get a monkey to fucking
the math would be that
communicate?
like honestly, like your followers should be like $1 to $2 per follow. And then out of let's say 100 followers, you should be able to book at least 2 to 3.
Okay, I'm gonna make a suggestion, all right? I don't know that this is the right move. I honestly, I don't think for Rodarte, I don't think the follower funnel is the solution because I still think it's gonna be hard as fuck. I still think it's gonna be hard in ways like the learning curve is gonna be there for him, Mason.
So what is an easier solution then?
The the hook stuff everybody else is doing where they don't have to do shit. Nobody has to fucking figure nothing out. It's just you call, use the script, get them on, run the ad. Nobody has to figure nothing out. There's like nothing to figure out with that. There's literally nothing to figure out. It's just talk to people. It's like a sheer volume game. Whereas to this, there's still like quite a bit of critical thinking, I think.
Oh.
I mean, what are your thoughts, Mason? Do you think that
How
this would be
many-
easy? Or do you think that that would be?
If it was me and I was in his shoes, I would want to do the follower stuff, knowing what I know.
But you don't know, but you and him don't know the same thing. Based off what Rodarte knows, what you think the best move for him is. Do you think the best move is for him to learn this follower social funnel, or do you think the best move for him is to do what Righteous and all the other guys are doing, just copy and pasting stuff?
I mean, yeah, it's copy and paste, but the issue is I think there's going to be problems with the retention with it. And not only just that, it's like, is one person just going to dominate one niche and just go to several different markets, or how is that going to work? Are they going to have several different niches?
No, everybody's gonna have like one niche.
Everyone's going to have one niche. That would definitely help.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like the script has already been like figured out. Like if Cam can do it 3 for 3 on his first 3 calls, and then if Righteous, who was struggling with sales, can go 1 for 1, you know what I mean? Like how hard is the hook call? It's like not that hard.
Right. But wouldn't it, like, I just feel like there'd be retention issues with it potentially because once the area dries up, which would probably be in like what, 1 to 3 months, like then what happens?
No. So yeah, but they're getting multiple clients, right? They're like the thing is you can get like 4 clients in a week. It's like so easy to get clients. And so if he gets 4 clients and he charges like fucking $1,000 a month and keeps the average person on for like just even 2 months. And service delivery is like literally just as simple as like download the
Copy
funnel.
and paste,
Yeah, it's like
like
fucking
ad.
there's nothing to think about, bro. Rarte, I think that's gonna be a better route for you, man. It's like I think the 6 pair 6 week is fine, it's fantastic, but it's like you're gonna run to this shit and you have to put in the like I love you, bro, but you gotta put in the extra fucking work. You gotta put in the work, you gotta put in the overtime to figure this shit out. If you don't, you're gonna run into issues. You know, I think even with the follower stuff, there's a learning curve. I know you're like tired. I can see it in your face. I can see it in your body. You're like tired. And you want some shit to just fucking work. And Mason, I really do think there's going to be an uphill battle for him if he tries to do the followers. He's got to go out there. He's got to film. He's got to figure out the fucking script and all. Like, I just think it's a lot of work for him. So, Arte, I'm gonna ask you to make a pivot again one more time. I think it's time. I think it's time to make that pivot.
I'm turning off my ads right now.
I think Mason, I think Rodarte's gotten better at like discovery calls, sales calls. And it's like if he with how much he's gone better at those, and if service delivery is just like fucking copy and paste, like he'll be okay.
I wonder if Power washing would be a good niche, especially in like the southern states.
Car washing?
No, power washing, because the cost per lead is generally less than $20, and the average power wash is like 300.
Yeah, dude, power washing. I think all of those things work. I mean, again, Aiden's like figured out enough, I think, to yeah. Power washing I've seen people do instant forms. Power washing works fantastic. It's super simple, very simple to sell.
Yeah.
So power washing would be super easy, I think, to do. Yeah.
Why am I still here?
What?
A legitimate question. Why are you keeping me around?
Why why am I keeping you around?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
dude, why am I still here? Am I your like, dude, if this guy can do it, then anybody can do it? Like, success story?
You're we're we are Captain Save a Ho and you are our hoe.
Dude, don't be hard on yourself, bro. Like, this took me years, and I'm still not where I want to be anyway. I'm sure Kashik's in the same boat as well anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we're always trying to figure shit out every day.
I'm busting your balls for Arte. Mason's being Mr. Nice right now.
I know.
I don't you're here because I like busting your balls. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, Mr. Fucking dunce.
No. You're here because you want to know why you're here. It's because you just won't give up and you won't stop fighting versus most people will. And that is something I respect. Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's like the most respectable thing I can ever say or see. Like, honestly, it's just not giving up. That's like so respectable, bro. And I know I have a soft spot for that. I know Mason does as well.
Plus, we fuck with your t-shirts.
He fucks with your
T-shirts.
t-shirt.
Oh, what am I wearing? Oh, this is the Seinfeld. All right.
And I do believe you can do this. I know you can do this. I think you just have to find something that fits for you. And I don't I don't see how you can fuck up the free to fee. I don't see
Please
how you
don't
can
say that. Please don't say that. Please don't put that pressure on me.
I don't see it's so it's a home run. I know it's a home run and it's gonna be a home run.
I think there's a lot of ins and outs and how to like navigate the conversation, but I think if you can get to the finish line and get to the service delivery part, that should actually be the easiest part, which I think a lot of people have anxiety about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like with where you're at right now with the first 6 weeks, I feel like you're good up until service delivery. That's when shit gets hard for you. That's
And
what
another
I'm
thing, well, is like because the niches that like I would look into are like home improvement. It's like those business owners are a little bit more hungry than like your hair salon person that's just used to like sitting behind the chair and cutting hair. Where these people are like, oh shit, like someone wants me to paint their house. It's a $5,000 job. I need to fucking get on that because I know if I don't, there's gonna be a local painter in the area that's gonna do it. You know what I mean? So they're more hungry and they're more motivated. Where it's like you don't have to, knock on their door every day and be like, oh, make sure you follow up with their leads. Like they understand that, which makes it a lot easier on you as well.
here. So here's the plan of action, okay? Rodarte, what Mason said is true. I'm gonna get a video sometime today or tomorrow where Aiden, that guy I was telling you about who you have not met yet, he's gonna share with me like funnels and ads for all the shit he's figured out. Okay. So that's gonna solve that problem. You don't have to fucking think about shit. You just fucking click and just whatever the fuck he says, we just do. He's already figured it out. And then step 2 is then pick a niche from that list. And then step 3 is just do some hook calls to prove that works. And that's it. Straight up, that's it. And then from there, we just fucking rinse and repeat, I think.
Okay, so then this is me thinking ahead of time or ahead, 2 steps ahead. But when I do the hook and they're like, okay, cool, let's do it. Do I have the system already built out before I call, or do I sell it and then build it out?
So So the first step, right? So when you did the niche funnel, right? The most important thing for us was to get the call booked and for you to do discovery calls and then close the deal, right? Like getting them results was like not even a thought. Like that was like so far in our mind. We're just thinking, can we even get like a sale, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to this, it's the same thing. The number one thing is, can we get a business owner on the line and get them to say, yeah, I want to do a trial? That's the number one thing. If you can do that, then we're cool because we already figured out service deal. You don't have to figure that shit out. You just have to prove like, hey, I can get in front of business owners. I can get them to say, yeah. If you can do that, then everything else has been taken care of.
Okay.
So don't worry about getting them results right now. Like, don't worry about like building up a Facebook page or anything and running ads. Don't worry about any of that stuff right now.
I guess my question is then a better question would be, is this just like I'm just getting the yes and like but not servicing them yet?
Yeah. If you have you kind of kept dibs on like what's happening inside this channel and the free to fee method?
I saw the last thing I saw was Righteous.
So,
His call that you said it sounded robotic, I think.
yep. So Righteous came in, he said, hey, Kushik, I want to do painting. From there, I was like, all right, cool, dope. Go listen to Drew's call, create your script, all that shit. He did. So if I come in here, if I come into this Google Doc, and so just carefully read this stuff. I would say, please read this stuff, get up to date on all that stuff. He came in here, he created the script. I looked over it. Then he did his very first call. And I don't know if you saw the call, he hooked the person. And from there, on our call today, he was like, yo, Kushik, I'm thinking about doing 2 or 3 more calls just to confirm. And I was like, no, you don't have to do any more calls. Now, what I want you to do is now we're going to figure out how to get ads to work for painters. And then from there, he's just going to connect those leads over to the business owner. And that's it. In your case, you're not going to have to figure anything out. Like we're going to pick a niche that's already proven for you. And I think for him, painters may have been already figured out as well. I think Aiden may have already done painters. But for you, we're gonna
painter ads as well.
huh?
So I remember when I ran those painter ads as well.
Yeah.
So I have those as well as the backup.
So exactly. So step 1, just follow these steps. Don't overthink it. Wait for me. I'll let you know here in a day or 2 as soon as I hear back from Aiden. 2, just let me know which one of those niches you want to do. 3, I'll give you directions.
Wait, you said which one of those niches? Where are these niches?
So
it was a list. I'm sorry.
yeah, so Aiden, this guy, he's gonna create a video for me where he's gonna break down like various niches. So like maybe cabinet, roofing, whatever that he's ran ads for profitably. Like he has clients that he's made $100,000 a month for. Like he's really good.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, there's roofing, HVAC, duct. And then you say, you know what? I want to do duct. So you saw his ad, you saw his funnel, you saw everything he did for duct clean business owners. You know exactly what to do for them. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to figure out what ad it is, the creative, the copy, you don't have to figure shit out. He's already done it. All you have to do is figure out how do you hook them. And honestly, you don't have to freaking figure that out either because we've already like created the scripts and everything. You just pretty much do it.
Got it. So then here's another question. Should I, what do you think? The 2 clients I have now, should I just refund them and just get that over with
No,
and get rid of that stress and like the time suck?
it's
Especially that plumber. He's just like,
it's up to you. Like I mean, if it's being a time suck for you and it's causing you to drain energy, then yeah, go for it. If I were you, I mean, it's up to you, honestly. I just feel bad.
well, I feel bad for selling something that I couldn't deliver. So that's where my guilt is like, okay, well, especially that plumber.
If you feel bad and if you feel guilty, then just refund it. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
But that plumber's like put all his faith, like he definitely needs that money more than I do. And I know that's a terrible, like that's the good thing for a salesman to have is probably a conscience, but
Okay, do this. Step 1. Okay, wait for me to get back to you because I do think that Aiden is doing some plumbers.
Okay.
And if he has figured it out, then we'll just pass it on to you and you can maybe try to replicate that with him if you want.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Questions, thoughts?
No. That's pretty
Mason,
much all of it.
Mason, do you have thoughts?
No questions or thoughts over here.
I mean, just thank you guys for, I don't know, keeping me around. And I don't know, the patience.
It's all good, man. I appreciate you being patient, man. You're being patient and putting your faith in us as well. So thank you for that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I got about 30 minutes to. I don't even feel like taking this demo, to be honest. I'm just like, fuck it.
Who's it with? What's the niche?
Landscaper.
No, take it. Because that's one of the niches he cracked.
I think I'm just gonna pitch the free leads thing because I honestly am just like drained right now. And for like going through my demo here, and he doesn't make much money anyway, and I don't know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just if you already paid for it, if you want to take it, go for it, take it. I would just say don't brush it off. Like, I mean, if you can close them, because I think Aiden has already figured that out. So
Yeah, so I was gonna say is like, hey man, this is a demo I normally have, but I know that this is my angle with this this landscaper is like, okay, I'm gonna show you the demo like I normally give and normally sell, but I know you're not making that much money, you can't afford me straight up. So I'm gonna show you what I do and then give you like my offer and then show him like the demo, and then the offer will be like the try like the I'll give you free leads for like a week or what is 3 days or whatever. And
three to
then
five. I give you 3 to 5 leads.
3 to 5 leads.
That's
Okay.
what he said.
I thought it was days. Okay. So 3 to 5 leads. And then from there it's a weekly amount. And that's like what, 250?
Yeah, so I'll kind of just give you the rundown really quick. So it's 3 to 5 leads, but it does take about 3 days to do the trial because you're giving like one lead a day, for example, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So suggestion make it about 3 days long. And then the way you pitch it and the way Drew pitches, like, hey, look, here's the deal. I just want to be upfront, show you how this all works. What we do is it's typically $2,000 a month to work with me. But for the first month after this trial, so first you got to explain the trial. Like, hey, so here's what I like to do for you. It's a free trial. I'll get you some results first. They say, all right, yeah, sounds good, Rodarte. I'm down to do a trial. Okay, cool. So just to make sure I'm not wasting your time, you're not wasting my time. What it looks like on the back end to work with me is $2,000 a month. Now, in your particular case, I'm not going to charge you $2,000. I'm going to charge you $1,000, and not only $1,000, but I'm going to charge you $250 a week. This way, you can cancel whenever you want, step your foot in, whatever, take it nice and slow. That's totally cool. Would that be at the realm of possibility? If I can generate some leads for you for free up front for 3 to 5 leads up front to prove to you that it works, would that be in the realm of possibility? $250 a week, is that possible? If they say yeah, that's like, okay, awesome. Then
My confusion is you're saying 2,000. Okay, so you're saying I charge 2,000. I'm only charging you 1,000.
exactly.
Okay, but
Price anchor 2,000 to 1,000 to $250 a week. So you're anchoring down.
Right. Okay. Got it.
But step one is first you got to get the buy-in for the trial, right? Step one is you got to explain to him, hey, it's a trial. I'm gonna get you 3 to 5 leads. I want to earn your trust first. How's that sound? He's obviously gonna say fuck yeah, because there's no skin in the game. Then from there you say, hey, look, I'm only willing to do it if 2,000, 1,000, 250. Is that fair? Yeah, then okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
If you want to give it a shot, you can give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. All right, guys. Well, again, appreciate it. today. Definitely was a punch in the dick, but I'll be all right.
You'll be all right, man. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
All right, we're
All right, man.
close.
Well, again, thanks for your time.
See you guys.
All right, bye.